Hello everyone and welcome to Sioux Falls, South Dakota here in Sioux Falls Stadium here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's Expedition League matchup between the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs and the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. We enter game one here in the two-game series for our final day out here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Tomorrow, the North Iowa Ragin Roosters will be back on the road. They'll head to Grand Forks to go up against the Red River Pilots, a team that they unfortunately lost to yesterday, 5-1. They'll look to see if they can go ahead and bounce back against the number one team here in the Expedition League, the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs, currently 19-1, 2-0 here in Sioux Falls. As the head coaches meet with the umpires tonight wearing their gray jerseys as that South Dakota heat continues to hit here. 98 degrees today with over 20-mile-an-hour winds here in the Midwest. With that being said, first pitch is going to be set for 4:05 here this afternoon. We'll see if that'll actually be on time. We're going to hope so. For the Ragin Roosters, we'll have a new lineup for tonight. Dane Nakasuka making his first appearance in a couple of weeks after battling back spasms for the last couple of weeks. He'll be tonight's DH. He'll lead off. Caleb Herbert, tonight's shortstop. He'll hit in the second spot. Peyton McGregor, tonight's right fielder. He'll hit third, usually hitting in the fourth spot. Sage McMinn hitting in the fourth spot, tonight's first baseman. Cy Probst will get the start behind the plate. He'll be the fifth batter. Carson Gross will be out in left field. He'll hit sixth. Griffin Snyder will be seventh. He'll be at third base. Caden Miller moves over to second base. He'll be tonight's eight hitter. And finally, Nick Eastham will be in center. He'll be tonight's night hole hitter. Noah Morfu will get the start on the mound for the Ragin Roosters. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be starting here momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sioux Falls Stadium, home of the Sioux Falls Canaries, the professional baseball team. We have our Expedition League matchup tonight between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. The Sabre Dogs currently standing at 19-1 on the season. The Ragin Roosters currently sitting at 6-11. If you haven't heard already, Dane Nakasuka will lead us off here tonight for the Ragin Roosters. Tonight DH, he'll be leading off, but on the mound for the Sabre Dogs, we're going to see somebody for the first time here. If you're a Ragin Rooster fan, you're going to see Reed Butts on the mound out of the Valley City State U. He's 2-0 on the season, has a .75 ERA, only over 12 innings of pitching, but he has 24 strikeouts, averaging almost 2 strikeouts per inning. He has been outstanding. Then again, all these Sabre Dogs players have been outstanding this season. So Dane Nakasuka will lead us off here for the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. His first game in a couple of weeks now. After dealing with back spasms, he's been out of the lineup for a while now. He'll come in as tonight's DH. Traditionally, he usually patrols the center field side. Nick Easton will be in there tonight. Michael Pratt, usually the one who leads off in center field since Nakasuka got hurt, will get the night off. So now Nakasuka out of Vanguard University. The first pitch to him. Swung on, laced out to right center field. It's going to be under the right fielder's glove. It's going to get down. Dane Nakasuka's going to go for extra bases here possibly. Never mind. He's going to hold up. So on the first pitch that Nakasuka sees, he'll line it out to right fielder Jesus Rojas, who's going to let it drop in front of him. The wind out here in Sioux Falls has been deadly this year. So a leadoff single for Dane Nakasuka. Now Caleb Herbert will come up to the plate. Herbert, tonight's shortstop, heading in the second spot. So nobody out, the first pitch to him. He's going to swing on it. He's going to lace it over the right-hand side. The second baseman, Jake Barlow, is going to make the underhanded catch. That'll be out number one. So on two pitches, we have a single and a pop fly out. This has been a quick going game already. So Barlow is able to make the play over in shallow right field. Now Peyton McGregor comes up to the plate with one out and a runner on first. The Oakland U product, hitting .206 now on the season. Unfortunately, he's been a little slow in his hitting. He's recently tried to get back out of the slump as he fouls this one up and out of play. 0-1 the count. One out, runner on first. Nothing your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. In the fifth game here played by the Expedition League. There'll be one more after this between the Pier Trappers and the Red River Pilots. The next pitch, swung on, fouled off again by McGregor. So 0-2 now the count. McGregor in his first 6 appearances here in Sioux Falls had struck out 6 times before he was able to come up with a hit. He now comes on with a runner on first and one away. The next pitch to McGregor. Popped up towards the right-hand side again. Chris Monroe is going to try and get underneath it. Tonight's first baseman in foul territory. He'll make the catch. So a fly out in foul territory for Peyton McGregor. As Monroe had to take a second. The wind is blowing very hard out here in Sioux Falls. We're having 25 to 30 mile-an-hour winds. As now Sage McMinn, the tall man out of Montana, comes up to the plate. McMinn, tonight's first baseman, hasn't made an appearance here just yet. The next pitch to him is going to be up in the zone. 1-0 the count. He had an appearance in Game 1 as the DH. I apologize. Either way, now has 2 outs and a runner on first in Nakasuka. Nothing your score. The next pitch from Butts. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. McMinn, known for having massive amounts of power, already has a home run this season. Unfortunately, has not been able to exhibit it very often as he's still hitting in the the high 100s as the throw over by Butts, the left-hander, tries to pick off Nakasuka. He's been picked off twice this season. He's not looking to get out for a third time. In his first game back since suffering from back spasms, he's tonight's DH just to test out himself. The next pitch. Swing and a miss for McMinn, now 1-2 the count. As the transfer to Missouri Baptist will look to see if he can keep the inning alive. Nothing your score here in the top of the first between the Ragin Roosters and the Sabre Dogs. The next pitch. Up in the zone to McMinn, so 2-2 the count to tonight's first baseman. It's Reed Butts, the left-hander, now at 9 pitches. He's already collected 2 outs and a single to his name. The next pitch. Breaking ball, fouled up and out of play by McMinn. He stays alive. 2-2 the count here for the Missouri Baptist product here in the top of the first. 0-0 your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. The Sabre Dogs at 19-1. They've won both games here, winning 4-1 over the Red River Pilots. And the next pitch to McMinn, he's going to foul straight up, he's going to hit it straight up into the infield. Jake Barlow and Dason Cruz will make the call off. So a pop fly out to the shortstop. So 1-2-3 after a single off the bat of Dane Nakasuka. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the North Iowa Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota here at Sioux Falls Stadium, the Birdcage. We have a 0-0 ball game here as we enter the bottom of the first inning. Noah Morphew will get the start tonight for the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. The last time he made a pitching appearance, he was in a one-inning relief appearance of Semler Dietrich, who was only able to get a single out against these same Sabre Dogs. It was in the last game in Bancroft against the Sabre Dogs, in which they unfortunately were swept, losing Game 3 20-1. Morphew gave up a single run, went a single inning of work before he was pulled. So now he comes up and he'll get the start tonight. Ragin Roosters are currently 0-2 here in Sioux Falls after unfortunately falling both times, once to 10-5 to the Pure Trappers and then 5-1 last night to the Red River Pilots. As Luis Pelayo will come up to the plate, tonight's center fielder. He'll come back into the lineup after getting a day off yesterday. He'll look to see what he can do here. Pelayo now hitting a little under 400 on the season, but has an even amount of RBIs and runs. He's been a good source of offense, whether to get himself on or score runs. The first pitch from Noah Morphew, outside, ball one. Morphew out of the Waldorf University from Iowa. The left-hander will look to see what he can do here. He arrived yesterday after not being able to travel with the team at first, as that ball gets laced over to the left-hand side, and it'll be a single off the bat of Luis Pelayo. And the first pitch that he can make contact with, he'll shoot it out to Carson Gross in left. So now Hunter Delanoy comes up to the plate. Tonight's DH, he'll get a rest from the field and come in to hit. That bat is ever so helpful for these Sabre Dogs. He's now hitting .500 on the season, in what's been an outstanding year for him. The Wayne State U product gets the DH spot tonight. Ben Newbert's going to get the night of rest. So runner on first, nobody out for Noah Morphew. The pitcher sets first pitch to Delanoy's up in the zone. So 1-0 the count. It's the Waldorf U product from Algona. Will continue to work here. After a leadoff single by Luis Pelayo, the left-hander sets the 1-0. Fouled off by Delanoy. Now 1-1 the count. We sit out here in, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 99 degrees out here in the Midwest. Currently 20 to 30 mile an hour winds coming in from right field towards the third base side. Hopefully, if you're a left-handed hitter, you're not pulling the baseball, or else it's not going to make it very far. Nakasuka's already experienced that. He had a line drive that would get down in front of the right fielder. As the sidearm throw from Morphew, it's going to hook out there over to the left-hand side, but the center fielder, Nick Easton, will make the catch. So out number one on a fly ball to center field. As I was saying, that ball continues to hook due to that wind out there, and now Seth Delgado, tonight's left fielder, was in left field last night as well, comes up to the plate. Traditionally the catcher for the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs, Ben Lavorsi, will get the second night of work, and now he comes up with one away and a runner on first. Noah Morphew sets. Checks the runner at first. The next pitch. Outside. Ball 1. Delgado, one of the more effective hitters, has been extremely hot for these Sabre Dogs. Has been playing a lot of left field, just trying to preserve him and allow him to get as many at-bats as possible. The next pitch. Swung on and fouled up and out of play. So 1-1 now the count. So you can hear the thunk from the stands as that ball lands back up here. 1-1, 1 out. A runner on first in the bottom of the first inning here in the 0-0 ball game between the Sabre Dogs and the Ragin Roosters. Noah Morphew on the mound. Seth Delgado up to hit. Luis Paleo on first. The next pitch, a curveball that way inside. Cy Probst is able to pick it up though. That ball ended up behind Delgado, but he isn't hit by it. So 2-1 now the count for the Oklahoma Westland product. As Morphew has more of like an overhand style throw, very similar to that of what you could say Trevor Hoffman, if anybody remembers that name from the MLB days, and then throws sidearms sometimes for his breaking balls. As this one gets laced out to left field, Carson Gross will be underneath it, and that'll be out number 2. On a line drive out to Carson Gross in left field. I'm used to seeing Peyton McGregor out there. He's in right. So now 2 outs, and Chris Monroe will come up to the plate, the first baseman from Central Michigan. Monroe hitting .429 on the season, the league leader in home runs and RBIs currently in the Expedition League. 2 outs, a runner on first. The first pitch from Morphew, breaking ball on the outside, strike 1. On a ball that hooked extremely well for Morphew, catches the outside on the back door. 2 outs, Luis Paleo on first. He singled to start off the game. The next pitch from Morphew, laced out towards right field. Peyton McGregor is going to be underneath it, and that'll be out number 3 on a line out from Chris Monroe to right. So now we'll head to the top of the second inning. 0-0 your score between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota in the Expedition League matchups. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the North Iowa Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, home of the Sioux Falls Canaries at Sioux Falls Stadium. We're centered to the top of the second inning. 0-0 your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. Cy Probst, tonight's battery, will come up to the plate. Probst hitting in the 5 spot tonight, hitting .250 on the season. He'll look to see what he can do here, as he'll lead us off here in the top of the second inning. Reed Butts sets the left-hander the pitch. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. As I see some of the Red River Pilots players arriving here, they'll have the second game tonight at 7:05. Barring that this game doesn't go extremely long, of course. The next pitch. Strike on the outside corner again, 0-2 now the count to Cy Probst. The Maine University product, teammate of Michael Pratt, who's also from Maine U. He gets the sit tonight, though, as Nick Easton will start in center. The next pitch. Laced up the middle. Dason Cruz will be able to get a piece of it, but not enough. So that'll be a single off the bat of Cy Probst as he lined that one right back up the middle. Dason Cruz got a small piece of it, but not enough as he wasn't able to get the full extension. So Carson Gross will now come up after a leadoff single by Cypropes. Both sides had led off the innings last inning in the top of the first and the bottom of the first with singles. And it looks to be the same process here as Cypropes singles to start us off. Carson Gross now comes up tonight as left fielder. The first pitch he sees will be a strike on the outside part of the zone, 0-1. 3 butts, now at 15 pitches, only needed 11 to get through that first inning, was working quickly. The left-hander sets the pitch. This one's inside, so 1-1 now the count. Nobody out, a runner on first as Cypropes leads us off here in the top of the second inning with a single. 0-0 your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. The next pitch, up in the zone, so 2-1 now the count to Carson Gross. As the University of North Colorado product, teammates of Craig Kenny, who's on the Ragin Roosters, got the start at catcher last night. And the next pitch, breaking ball down and away. So 3-1 now the count to Carson Gross. Reed Butts continues to work quickly. The left-hander looking to go quickly here through this inning. Only a .75 ERA. The next pitch. Gross is going to lift this one down the left field line. The wind's going to take it foul, though, and that's going to be out of play. So 3-2 now the count to tonight's left fielder. He has experience out in right and third base as well. Has mostly been playing in right and third base. He'll get the start in left, though, as McGregor moves to right. The next pitch, he's going to hit it over the second base side. Jake Barlow's going to pick it up. He's only going to have a play at first, so a ground out to first for Carson Gross. He allows his teammate Cypropes to advance as the ball was hit sharply over to the right-hand side, and Jake Barlow only had the play at first. So Griffin Snyder now comes up to the plate. Excuse me. Snyder from St. Mary's College, only batting .163, unfortunately, on the season for him, but has done an excellent job when called upon. Runner on second, 1 away. The next pitch from Reed Butts, up in the zone, so 1-0 now the count. 0-0 your score here in the top of the second inning. Griffin Snyder comes up to the plate, tonight's first baseman, with 1 away and a runner on second. The St. Mary's product waits. The left-hander delivers. Strike over the heart of the plate, so 1-1 now the count. Now 99 degrees out here, the wind blowing from right to left. The 1-1. Snyder's going to foul this one up and out of play, so 1-2 now the count. 1 out, a runner on second. Cypropes let us off with a single up the middle that Dason Cruz was not able to make the play on. Carson Gross then grounded out towards second as Jake Barlow was not going to be able to make the play to first as it was too far over to the right-hand side. 1-2 the count. The pitch from Reed Butts. Snyder fouls it off again. He'll stay alive. 1-2 now the count. This Butts with a .75 ERA. In only 12 innings of work, he has 22 strikeouts. Has been excellent this year, but then again, all the Sabre Dogs players have been. They stand at 19-1 on the season. The 1-2 again. Check swing. Did Snyder go? They're going to say he did. So on a curveball down and in at his feet, he goes down swinging. 2 away. And that's one that I don't think Griffin Snyder agrees with. He had a look on his face that said no, no, no. So now 2 outs, and Caden Miller comes up to the plate. Miller now starting at second base tonight. Traditionally comes in for Caleb Herbert at shortstop. He now comes up to play second base tonight. The first pitch to him with 2 outs. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. Runner on second, 2 outs. Cypropes leading off with a single, advancing to second on a ground out from Carson Gross. Griffin Snyder gets called out on a check swing strike that he heavily disagreed with. Now Caden Miller comes up to the plate. The next pitch. Strike over to the heart of the plate, so now 0-2 the count to the Centralia Community College product. Followed by his teammates River Terry and Travis Herbert, who unfortunately Herbert was given the loss in Game 1, and River Terry made a pitching appearance in Game 2. The 0-2 to Caden Miller. Breaking ball just outside. Butts thought he had strike 3. I thought he did too. So 1-2 the count on the extremely effective curveball that just dropped into the lap, and it pairs that just stayed a little too high and out. 1-2 the count to Caden Miller, tonight's second baseman. Looking to keep the inning alive, seeing if he can score Cypropes from second. The 1-2. Foul it off, he'll stay alive. 1 and 2 still the count for tonight's second baseman. Traditionally plays for Caleb Herbert when he gets the night of rest at shortstop. He'll come in to play second base tonight. Second base has been an open position this year for the Ragin Roosters. Jarrett Brannon, Griffin Snyder, and Cameron Rendoni all sharing that spot. The next pitch. Way outside on the breaking ball. That one got away from him. 2 and 2 now the count. 2 outs, a runner on second in the top of the second inning. Nothing your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. Cy Probst leading us off with a single before Carson Gross grounded out and a swinging strikeout from Griffin Snyder. The 2-2. Outside again. So now full count for Caden Miller. Miller just looking to see if he can at least get himself on base, hoping to see if he can score Cy Probst. Luis Palaio and the right fielder, Jesus Rojas, both very in right now. They'll look to see if they can keep Cy Probst from scoring, but if that ball gets laced down left field, Seth Delgado's far enough back. The next pitch. Ball up high in the zone, so Caden Miller gets himself on base with a walk. An excellent eye done there by the Centralia Community College product, and now Nick Eastham comes up to the plate, the 9-hole hitter in center field tonight. Eastham has been a good bat at the back end of this lineup for the North Iowa Ragin Roosters out of Midway U, hitting over 400 on the season. Has been an extra base machine. Currently leads the team in stolen bases as well. Has done an excellent job this season with the Ragin Roosters. 2 outs, he has runners on second and first. The first pitch he sees, he's going to let sit on, and a curveball down and in. So 1-0 the count. Nothing your score here between the Ragin Roosters and the Sabre Dogs in the top of the second inning here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The 1-0 from Reed Butts. Big swing and a miss. 1-1 now the count for Nick Eastham. Tonight's center fielder, he's been playing all over the outfield this year for the Ragin Roosters, has experience in left and right. Has a great arm and has great speed. He's shown it multiple times, has gunned a couple of runners out at home plate from the outfield. The 1-1. Up in the zone, 2-1 now the count. He seems to have been able to use that speed as well on the base paths. Again, 6 stolen bases, leads the team. Has also been an excellent source of power as he's been an extra base machine, especially when the Pure Trappers were in town in Bancroft. The 2-1 to Nick Eastham. Hits it over to the right-hand side. It's going to get down. Cy Probst is going to get held up at third base, though, so now a single by Nick Eastham loads up the bases on a line drive that he put enough pepper on to get out into the outfield. So now 2 outs will head back up to the top of the order, and this is someone that you really want to see if you're the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. Dane Nakasuka coming back for the first time since suffering from some back spasms. He's back tonight in the DH spot. He's been out for the last, I believe, 6 contests. He gets in tonight. The base is loaded, 2 outs here in the top of the second, and the North Iowa Ragin Roosters looking to see if they can score one here. We have some pretty good speed on the base paths. Cy Probst at third, tonight's battery. The second baseman, Caden Miller, at second. He's got good speed, and Nick Eastham, who leads the team in stolen bases, on first. Dane Nakasuka also has good speed. The first pitch he sees, he takes a check swing at. He'll get called on, so 0-1 the count. And right now the Ragin Roosters need to play good baseball here. This is a moment they need to capitalize on. The Sabre Dogs are easily the best team right now in the Expedition League. 19-1. They need to take care of every opportunity they can get. He'll lace this one right back up the middle, and unfortunately it'll be out number 3 as Reed Butts cleanly picks it up on a ground out to the pitcher. So unfortunately for Nakasuka, he hits it right back up the middle. Reed Butts is able to make the play. So still 0-0 your scores. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs tied at 0 here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Dason Cruz will lead it off for the Sabre Dogs. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota as we enter the bottom of the second inning. Excuse me, this is supposed to say bottom of the second inning. Jason Cruz will look to lead us off here for the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs in this 0-0 ball game here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Cruz, unfortunately, has been going down a little bit slower. He was batting .452 entering it here into Sioux Falls, now batting .426. The first pitch he sees will be a ball in the outside corner. As he went around on the bunt, he pulls back and is able to get a ball. So on the outside corner there. Want to know the count. Nobody on, nobody out as Jason Cruz will lead us off here in the bottom of the second inning. There's no more Morphew sets. The next pitch fouled off by Cruz, so it's now 1-1 the count. 0-0 your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 99 degrees out here in the Midwest. The wind continues to blow from right to left. The next pitch. Hit up and over into the left field side again. This one stays foul, so 1-2 the count. The wind has been blowing harshly here all weekend. We're up to 25-mile-an-hour winds today, and you can feel it, trust me. The wind has been blowing extremely hard, mostly from straightaway center field or from right to left. The next pitch. Curveball hit to straightaway center field. Dane Nakasuka sees that ball, or excuse me, that's Nick Eastham in center field. We'll see the ball curve right over towards him, though, and that'll be out number one. So once again, that ball was hit more towards right center field, and it blew all the way over towards left center almost, as now Jake Barlow comes up to the plate. Barlow now hitting .300 on the season, but has had an excellent source of power as well. 3 home runs for him for the second baseman. The next pitch from Morphew. Breaking ball, strike on the inside part of the zone. 0-1 with one out after Jason Cruz lines out to center field. The 0-1 from Noah Morphew. Another breaking ball. This one gets lifted up and over towards left center field. Carson Gross is going to get underneath it, and that'll be out number 2 on the fly ball out to left field. That was a towering shot off the bat of Barlow. Carson Gross barely needed to move underneath it. So now 2 outs, and Ben Lavorsi comes up to the plate. Lavorsi, tonight's catcher. He'll get the second start in a row. In only 16 at-bats, he's already got 4 home runs. In his first 12, he had 4 homers. He has been a deadly source of power. A late addition from Minnesota State to this Sabre Dog squad, but let me tell you, one that's already been massively helpful. He lines up a bunt, and he's going to foul it over to the first base side. That's something you don't see every day. Lavorsi, mostly known as a power-hitting catcher, doesn't have excellent speed, tries to wind up and bunt one down the first base line. Well, either way, 0-1 the count here with 2 outs. The next pitch, a breaking ball down and away from Noah Morphew. 1-1 now the count for the Waldorf U product. The left-hander, tonight's pitcher. Arrived 2 days ago, yesterday morning. Did not make a pitching appearance until today. The next pitch, way outside now, 2-1 the count. Lavorsi out of Minnesota State University. In only 16 at-bats, he already has 4 home runs. The next pitch. Strike on the outside corner. 2-2 now the count. 2 outs, nobody on. Fly balls to left and center field were the first 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning as the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs are tied at 0. The 2-2. Breaking ball lifted up and over towards the right-hand side. It's going to drift towards foul territory. I don't think McMahon's going to have a play on it. He will not. It's going to land in foul. So now 2-2 still the count as Lavorsi stays alive. Morphew now up to only 22 pitches through an inning and 2/3 of work. Doing a little better than, unfortunately, Reed Bentz, who I believe needed 39 pitches. After having the bases loaded with 2 outs, he was able to get the final out on a ground ball right back to him. The 2-2 again from Morphew. Breaking ball hit over to the right-hand side. The breaking ball has been working well for Morphew. This one's in shallow right field. Will anybody be there? Nick Eastham will be there, as no one looked like called for it for a minute there, and it almost gave me a heart attack up here in the booth. So Eastham comes into right center field and makes the catch. And with that, we'll head to the top of the 3rd inning. 0-0 your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota here in this 0-0 bowl game between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. We'll enter the top of the third inning with Caleb Herbert to lead us off. Unfortunately for him, he lined out to the second baseman Jake Barlow in his first appearance. He'll not come up for the second time here. First pitch he sees from Reed Butts. He'll line straight up back the middle. Will Luis Paleo be there? He almost goes over his head as Paleo is playing into really shallow center field, and it'll be a line out. So that's the second time now tonight that Paleo has been able to make the play in center. And that's the second time Caleb Herbert's gone down now on the first pitch that he sees. Now Peyton McGregor comes up to the plate. He's also 0 for 1. The Oakland U product waits on the first pitch that he sees. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1 the count. One out after Herbert lines out to straightaway center field. The 0-1 to McGregor. Strike in the bottom half of the zone, now 0-2 the count. And Reed Butts is working quickly already. 41 pitches for him. The next pitch to Peyton McGregor. Laced towards straightaway center field, Luis Paleo playing deeper back this time. He'll be able to make the play on the fly ball out to center field. 2 away now, as Sage McMinn, who's already 0 for 1 tonight, comes back up to the plate. Batting 139 on the year, he does have a .238 on base percentage. Unfortunately, has been in a bit of a slump really recently, so he'll come up with 2 outs now. The next pitch. Breaking ball in the inside part of the zone, 1-0 the count. 2 outs now for the Missouri Baptist product as he faces off against Reed Butts on the mound. He continues to work here. 2 outs the next pitch. Strike on the outside part of the zone, good framework by Lavorsi. 1-1 now the count. 3 hits already for the Ragin Roosters, 1 for the Sabre Dogs as Noah Morphew has been working pretty well, and Reed Butts is able to strand the bases loaded. The next pitch for McMinn gets laced out towards left field. Seth Delgado will get underneath it, and that'll be out number 3 on a line drive out to Delgado and left. He takes a couple steps back and makes the play. So now we'll head to the bottom of the third inning. 0-0 your score still here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota between the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs and the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the North Iowa Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota here, the Birdcage, home of the Sioux Falls Canaries. We enter the bottom of the third inning. North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs tied at 0. Jesus Rojas will come up to the plate. A late addition as well for this Souris Valley squad, only 12 at-bats on the season. He's batting .333 in those set at-bats. The next pitch from Noah Morphew. Ball up in the zone, 1-0 the count. As Morphew's already worked a pretty efficient outing already, only giving up 1 hit here through 2 innings of work, 23 pitches to his name. The next pitch, ball in the dirt, so now 2-0 the count. As Rojas will lead us off here, the utility man in tonight's right fielder, traditionally at third base as well. Alex Crouch will get back there tonight. The next pitch, big swing and a miss, strike 1. So now 2-1 the count for Noah Morphew on the mound. Rojas continues to see if he can put himself on base. The leadoff trend here is everybody in the top of the innings have led off with a single. The next one is fouled off, so 2-2 now the count. As Dane Nakasuka led off the top of the first with a single. The bottom of the first was led off by Luis Paleo. He singled, and then I believe it was Cy Probst who led off on the top of the second. He came up with a single. The next pitch. Lace down that third base line. It'll stay foul though. So 2-2 still the count. Nothing your score here in the bottom of the third inning. The North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs tied at 0 here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota at Sioux Falls Stadiums. 98 degrees now out here in Sioux Falls. The next pitch from Morphew, big swing and a miss. Strike 3 for the, Algona native, Waldorf University product. Gets his first strikeout of the game. And now Alex Crouch comes up to the plate. Crouch has been in a bit of a slump recently. He'll look to see if he can break out of it here as he comes up in the 9th spot. Now batting 192 on the season. Has a couple of walks, though, to help him. The next pitch. Straightaway center field, Nick Easton playing deep out there. He'll look to see if he can make the play. He almost collides with his teammates. He does collide with Carson Gross, but Gross comes up with a catch. They collide out there in left center field. As Nick Easton coming all the way in from deep center, Caleb Herbert comes all the way in from shortstop, and Carson Gross from left. They all collide out there, but the catch is made by Carson Gross as he almost took out all of his teammates. Goodness gracious, that could have been a little scary there. So now with 2 outs, Luis Paleo comes up to the plate. He led off the ball game in the bottom of the first with a single. As Carson Gross, Easton, and Herbert look to all be okay, though, so that's the good sign, and that's the biggest thing right now. Just making sure that they're all okay out there, and they are, it looks to be. So Paleo now comes up, batting a little under 400. The first pitch he'll see. Laces over to the second baseman side. Caden Miller makes the catch on the first pitch. First swing in the third out of the inning. We'll go to the top of the fourth. Nothing your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. Cy Probst, who already has a leadoff single, will look to come up and see if he can do it again here into the top of the fourth. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, home of the Sioux Falls Canaries of the Independent League. Cy Probst will look to lead us off here as we enter the top of the fourth inning. Nothing your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. Here in Sioux Falls in this Expedition League matchup. The Sabre Dogs currently stand at 19-1, the Ragin Roosters 6-11. They are tied for second though with the Red River Pilots. The first pitch to Cy Probst, up in the zone, 1-0. As what has been an extremely quick game here between the Sioux sides. 4:05 was the start time. It is now 4:45, and we're in the top of the fourth inning. It's been a pretty quick game. The next pitch. Probst will foul this one up and out of play. 1-1 now the count. And of course, I say this until I jinx us, and we have a 4-hour inning. It is something that we've definitely seen here before in the Expedition League. Those big explosive innings that either lead from a lot of walks, a lot of hits, or a little bit of both. The 1-1. Probst takes a big swing and a miss, and now 1-2 the count. Reed Butts now up to 48 pitches through 3 innings of work. Had a bit of a struggle in the top of the second. He was able to get out of it, though, with the bases loaded and 2 outs. This one gets away. It'll be 2-2 now the count, as that one stays too far inside. Nobody out, nobody on for Cy Probst. Does he'll look to lead us off here in the top of the second. Last time he came up with the leadoff, he line drived a single off the glove of Dason Cruz as he tried to make the diving grab, so he was able to get on. The next pitch, big swing and a miss for Cy Probst. Strike 3 on the swing and a miss, so Reed Butts will pick up. I believe that's his first strikeout here. At least, no, excuse me, it's his second one as he caught Griffin Snyder earlier. Carson Gross now comes up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to the second base side the first time he came up. He was able to advance Cy Probst. Unfortunately, he was not able to score, though, later on. As the North Colorado product, tonight's left fielder, comes up. Strike 1 on the curveball down and in. As Reed Butts continues to work quickly here. The 0-1. Another curveball, this time strike again. So 0-2 now the count to the left fielder, who collided with his center fielder, Nick Eastham, on the catch out there. That was ever so dangerous. The 0-2. Outside ball, so 1-2 now the count as that one stays just a little too far outside. The Red River Pilots here in the stands watching tonight's game. They'll be playing at 7:05 against the Trappers. The next one is fouled over towards the right-hand side. Chris Monroe will try and make a play on it. Will he make a play? He will not as he crashes into the wall. And that one looked like it hurt. Monroe will get back up, though, off the assist of his teammates as he bounced off that wall over there on the first base side as the 6'5", 6'6" first baseman, who looks more like a lineman than a baseball player, bounced off the wall there. He looks okay, though, as he walks back to his position. Reed Butts, the pitcher, goes over to check on him, says, "Hey, I'm all right," and gets back into position. 1-2 now the count for Carson Gross. He's already 0 for 1 tonight with a ground out to Jake Barlow at second. 1 out, nobody on as Cy Probst strikes out to lead off the inning. The 1-2. Gross lifts this one down the left field line. Delgado won't be able to get there in time. So a single on a line drive to left off the bat of Carson Gross. A good swing and a good piece of hitting there for Carson Gross puts him on base. Griffin Snyder now comes up. He struck out in his last appearance on a check swing that he did not agree with. He let himself be known a little bit. Griffin Snyder, not really the most verbal of types, but he was willing to say, "Hey, I didn't swing on that one." But that's okay. So now a runner on first, 1 out. The first pitch to Griffin Snyder, up in the zone, 1-0. Snyder, tonight's third baseman, has a little bit of experience in the outfield and at second base. Has also made a relief pitching appearance here. Was at third base yesterday and was a reliever in Game 1 as this ball gets fouled up and out of play. Now 1-1 the count. He came in relief of Travis Herbert in Game 1 against the Pierre Trappers. Unfortunately, the final score for that game came out to be 10-5. As the Ragin Roosters are the only team here without a win in Sioux Falls. They take on the best team now in the league, the Sabre Dogs. That's going to be a strike on the outside corner, a bit of a delayed call, and that's 1-2 now the count on the backdoor breaking ball from Reed Butts. Runner on first and Carson Gross. He was able to single to left. Cy Probst struck out to lead us off here, so there's one away. Butts the left fielder, the left-handed pitcher, sets. The 1-2. Check swing again. This time it stays up in the zone. He doesn't go around all the way, so 2-2 now the count. And Snyder was about to have a case of deja vu if he went around any further. He struck out on a 1-2 on a check swing earlier. He didn't agree with it. The next pitch, Carson Gross is on the move. He's going to foul this one over to the first base side. Monroe is actually going to keep it in fair territory and get the out. So Monroe was on the move already, so there was no chance at a double play. So Monroe's able to pick it up as it was a ground ball off the end of bat of Snyder, and now Caden Miller, who walked, comes up to the plate. Miller, the last time he was up to the plate, took a walk to his name with 2 outs and a runner on second. Before, though, it was Cy Probst. Now it's Carson Gross. He'll look to see if he can bring around his teammate from second base. Miller has been an excellent source of offense near the bottom of the lineup as well as a contact hitter. The next pitch he sees, he's going to hit over to the third base side. The third baseman throws over to first, almost throws over Monroe's head, but thankfully Monroe is pretty tall over there first, so that'll be out number 3. On the ground out to third base. Alex Crouch throws over to Chris Monroe. So we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Now 0-0 your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast here on YouTube. We'll be right back. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, here at Sioux Falls Stadium, home of the Sioux Falls Canaries of the Independent League. Nothing your score here as we enter the bottom of the fourth inning. It is between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs as Hunter Delanoy, who's already 0 for 1 tonight, comes up to the plate. Hitting in the second spot tonight's DH, he gets a night off from the field, but will be tonight's DH as Ben Newbert gets to rest. Hitting 500 on the year, now a little under that after he flew out, I believe, in his last appearance. The first pitch he'll see is going to be a ball outside. 1-0 the count from Noah Morphew. Delanoy did fly out to center field the first time he came up. The 1-0 from Noah Morphew. Down the zone, so 2-0 now the count. Morphew making that curveball work. He's done an excellent job as the left-hander with that hook. Has only given up one hit here. The 2-0. Laced over to the second base side, Caden Miller's going to make the play easily, throw over to first in plenty of time. So a ground out to Caden Miller at second base, traditionally the shortstop for Caleb Herbert when he gets a night of rest. He'll start at second tonight, he gets out number 1. As now Seth Delgado comes up to the plate. Tonight's left fielder's already 0 for 1 as well. As the wind continues to blow out here, I think you can hear it on the broadcast if you listen closely. As it has been an extremely windy day out here in Sioux Falls. The first pitch to Seth Delgado stays up in the zone, so 1-0 now the count. Delgado, I believe, flew out to left the last time he came up. He did. So with 1 away, Delgado at Oklahoma Westland, the catcher and left fielder, sees the next pitch. It's going to be a strike on the bottom half of the zone. 1-1 now the count. I don't think Delgado liked that one very much, but the ever so peaceful, the ever so calm catcher left fielder doesn't mind quite at all. So 1-1 to count, 1 out. The next pitch from Morphew laces it over the left-hand side. It'll be a line drive single off the bat of Seth Delgado. He absolutely laced that one right between Herbert and Snyder over to short and third. So now Chris Monroe, who's already 0 for 1 tonight, comes up to the plate. The ever so dangerous first baseman from Central Michigan, built like a lineman, and I mean that with no offense and all the meaning of, holy cow, you are a big guy. Batting .430 on the year. He now has a runner on first. The next pitch is down in the dirt, so 1-0 the count as Morphew throws one down and away. He has a runner on first as Delgado is able to single one to the left-hand side. We see here in the bottom of the fourth, the Ragin Roosters and the Sabre Dogs tied at 0 here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 98 degrees out here. The next pitch from Morphew. Monroe fouls it off towards the third base side. 1-1 now the count. Delgado at first, after his teammate Hunter Delanoy grounded out to second base to lead off the inning. He would come up with his own hit towards the left-hand side. Only the second hit here for the Sabre Dogs in the bottom of the fourth inning. The next pitch from Morphew. Swung on and laced down the left field line. Will it land fair? It will. It's going to bounce all the way to the wall. Delgado's going to see if he can get his legs moving. The throw-in from Carson Gross is a great one to third. And it keeps Delgado from going any further. So a double off the bat of Chris Monroe. As that ball bounced all the way to the wall out there and left. So now runners on second and third with only 1 away. And Dason Cruz is now coming up to the plate. One of the hotter hitters here for these Souris Valley Sabre Dogs out of Quincy University, batting over .420 on the season, has 5 doubles already. Went 5 for 5 in Game 1 against the Ragin Roosters in Bancroft earlier this week. He'll look to see if he can replicate that kind of performance. He now comes up with 1 out, runners on second and third. The first pitch he sees is a breaking ball down in the dirt, so 1-0 to him. He's already 0 for 1 tonight, with a fly out to center field. We sit in the bottom of the fourth. Nothing your score here between the Ragin Roosters and the Sabre Dogs. Delgado's got decent speed. The outfield is back for the Ragin Roosters. The next pitch, another breaking ball down and in. 2-0 now the count to Dason Cruz. Morphew's now starting to give up some hits here. As the Sabre Dogs hitters are beginning to figure him out a little more. The left-hander from Waldorf. The 2-0. Strike on the outside part of the plate, so 2-1 now. Morphew's just trying to get through as many innings as possible here without giving up any runs. These Sabre Dogs always so dangerous, no matter who's up to the plate. The 2-1. Just hits foul as it bounces off of Cruz's foot, it appears. So 2-2 now the count for the Quincy U product. Tonight's shortstop has been the main position that he's been playing the last couple of nights. He's been able to play all over the infield, mostly on that third base side when Alex Crouch gets the night off. He's been hot recently, though. 2-2 the count, one out, runners on second and third. Delgado reaching on a single, Monroe advancing him to third on a double. The next pitch, way out and away. Inside Probst is able to block it, though. So full count now for Dason Cruz. As Noah Morphu's just looking for out number 2 without giving up a sacrifice fly here. The infield is in here for the Ragin Roosters. Griffin Snyder, the only one who's not all the way in, as Cruz does have good opposite field power. One out, the full count from Noah Morphu. Breaking ball hit over to the first base side. McMinn's going to let it go through him, and that's going to score a run. Monroe's going to get held up at third, so a single as McMinn's not able to make the play at first. It bounces under the glove of McMinn, and now it's a 1-0 ball game here in the bottom of the fourth. The Sabre Dogs strike first here on a single off the bat of Dason Cruz. Now Jake Barlow comes up to the plate. He's already 0 for 1 tonight. Out of Delta State University. He still has one out and now runners at the corners. Morphu continuing to work here. 1-0 your score here as the next pitch he sees is going to be fouled over to the third base side. 0-1 the count. As Dason Cruz is able to score a run on a single. He's able to score his teammate Delgado from third on an RBI single on the right-hand side as Sage McMinn was not able to handle it. So 1-0 your score here in the bottom of the fourth. One out, runners at the corners. Morphu checks the runner at first. He's going to be on the move. This one's down and in on his dirt, so it's going to allow Dason Cruz to advance. So stolen base for Dason Cruz is now there's runners on second and third. The double play is out of the question now. Monroe at third. Doesn't have great speed, but of course you don't want to test him. Looking to see if they can get it out here quietly. The next pitch, up in the zone, 2-1 now the count to the second baseman. Already 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to left field the first time he came up. The right-handed hitting second baseman. Already has 3 home runs on the season. He'll look to see if he can generate some more power here. Morphu sets the pitch. Curveball down, and it's going to be hit towards the third base side. It'll land foul. So 2-2 now the count for the Waldorf U product. He arrived here in Sioux Falls yesterday morning. Did not get the start as Similar Dietrich came in. Unfortunately, it allowed up to being a 5-1 victory for the Red River Pilots over the Roosters. Morphu comes in tonight after Travis Herbert pitched game 1. As they'll head tomorrow to Grand Forks to play against the same Red River Pilots. The curveball, big swing and a miss, strike 3 for Noah Morphu. As Jake Barlow was looking to see if he could get the high curveball and shoot it out of the yard. Instead, he swings and misses and goes right through it. So Ben Lavorsi now comes up, the Minnesota State product. A late addition to these Souris Valley Sabre Dogs, arrived a little later in the season, as many of the other of these players have as they get recruited early on into the year. He now comes out with 2 outs and runners on second and third. Last time he hit out towards shallow center field and he flew out there as Easton was able to make the play. The next pitch from Morphu. Up in the zone, so 1-0 the count. We have 2 outs and runners on second and third. 1-0 now your score. The Souris Valley Sabre Dogs lead the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. An RBI single off the bat of Dason Cruz. Lavorsi will look to see if he can extend that lead. Morphu sets the next pitch. Big swing and a miss. Strike on the inside part of the zone. So 1-1 now the count. So Lavorsi tonight's battery was starting catcher last night as well. Delgado, usually the catcher for these Sabre Dogs. He gets the start back-to-back nights in left. And Lavorsi will get the start behind the plate again. Delgado was the catcher in game 1. The next pitch, he fouls it off. So 1-2 now the count. As Noah Morphu continues to work here. Now up to 54 pitches through 3 2/3 of an inning of work. He's given up 4 hits on both sides. He's given up now a single run, though that play over by Sage McMinn at first could be questioned as an error, but we're going to call it a hit. 1-2 the count here for Ben Lavorsi. 2 outs, runners on second and third. The next pitch from Morphew, outside, ball 2. So look to see if he can get the Minnesota State product to go down here. The left-handed hitting catcher. Not something you really see left-handed anything from catchers, as most of the time they are right-handed hitting and just throwing in general. The next pitch, down and away, full count now for Ben Lavorsi. As Morphew's just looking to get himself out of the inning here without any more damage to his name. 1-0 your score here. The Souris Valley Sabre Dogs score on a single from Dason Cruz. Sage McMinn was not able to handle it at first. The 3-2 from Morphew. Laced down the first base line. It's going to land foul, though. Just pulled it a little too hard. Didn't sit on it just long enough. Two outs, runners at second and third. Chris Monroe at third after a double that helped move Delgado up to third. He advanced on the single from Dason Cruz. Cruz now on second after a stolen base. The full count with 2 outs again. Down in the dirt on the breaking ball, so that'll be a ball 4 and it allows Lavorsi to get on. So bases loaded for Jesus Rojas. With 2 outs, 1-0 your score, the bases loaded. After the breaking ball just dips a little too low, unfortunately, for Cy Probst, as he'll go out to talk to his pitcher for a moment. Rojas already 0 for 1 tonight. Tonight's right fielder. He struck out swinging the first time he came up to the plate. He'll look to see what he can do here now with the bases loaded. Only has 1 RBI on the season, but he'll look to see if he can go ahead and add to that total. Of course, Noah Morphew just looking to see if he can go ahead and keep that from happening. He's going to go as deep as he can into this ball game at this point. Not many pitchers left over for the Ragin Roosters. The next pitch. Breaking ball on the outside. 0-1 the count as that ball just looped out there. Morphew, the left-handed pitcher, has a very odd pitching style if he goes over the head on the curveballs most of the time and throws a slider sidearm style. He's been quite effective, though, whenever he's been out there at times. A strike on the outside corner. Good frame work by Cy Probst. 0-2 now the count to Rojas. The late addition as well, alongside Lavorsi here for these Sabre Dogs, has been mostly a utility man playing between third and right. The 0-2 from Noah Morphew. Down in the dirt, so 1-2 now the count as he can't get Rojas to chase. The Red River Pilots leave the stands here. They'll look to try and get warmed up as they have their game in about 2 hours. The next pitch from Noah Morphew. Head over to that first base side. It's just tapped foul, though, as Rojas will stay alive. The Cy Probst was up and out of his crouch quickly there, hoping that ball would land fair and he could make the throw down. 1-2 the count. Bases loaded. Monroe at third. Cruz at second. Lavorsi at first. 2 outs. 1-0 your score here in the bottom of the fourth between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. The next pitch up in the zone. 2-2 now the count for Jesus Rojas. I apologize. Couldn't say his name there for a minute. Rojas on the right-hand side of the box. The left-hander sets the pitch. Laced towards right field. Can Peyton McGregor get there? He's not going to get there in time. It's going to almost roll past him. That's going to score at least 2. And that'll put a single for Jesus Rojas. Allows them to score 2. Now a 3-0 ball game. As McGregor didn't get a good jump on it, unfortunately, and allows 2 to score. Lavorsi advances to third on the play. Now 3-0. Now Alex Crouch, who's 0 for 1, comes up to the plate. Now, unfortunately for Morphew, he gives up 3 here in the bottom of the fourth. After a line drive single off the bat of Jesus Rojas, he'll now have 3 RBIs here on the season. 2 outs, runners at the corners. Then a first pitch from Morphew. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1 the count. Morphew, unfortunately, is just not able to get himself with that third out. As Rojas keeps it staying alive with 2 outs. The next pitch, outside and away. Throw down by Cy Probst. He'll try and get the runner in a run down, and that's going to score a run, though. So now it'll be 4-0 on the designated play there as the runner does score. So that'll be an out there. So a run scores. It'll make it now 4-0 as we'll enter the top of the 5th inning. The 4-0 your lead here for the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs over the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Now 4-0 your score here. The Sabre Dogs are able to put up 4 in the bottom of the 4th. They now lead the Ragin Roosters 4-0 here as we enter the top of the 5th. Nick Eastham comes up to the plate. Eastham already 1 for 1 tonight with a single to his name. A great source of offense near the bottom of the lineup. The main position that he's been hitting from is the 9-hole, oddly enough, even though he's one of the team leaders in batting average. I believe he is the team leader actually right now at the quick moment. The first pitch he'll see is going to be fouled over to the third base side, so 0-1 the count. Nobody out, nobody on for Eastham as he'll lead us off here in the top of the 5th. The next pitch, way outside, 1-1 now the count as Reed Butts continues to work. 4 innings of work here, he's given up 4 hits. No runs though as he was able to strand the bases loaded. The next pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Good frame work by Ben Lavorsi. As the midway product, we'll look to see if he can go ahead and lead off the inning here with a hit. The next pitch, way up in the zone, 2-2 now the count, or at least be able to put himself on. As Nick Eastham had 18 stolen bases last year, only caught 1 time at Midway University. The next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3 for Nick Eastham. That'll be out number 1 for Reed Butts. Now Dane Nakasuka comes up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Nakasuka from Vanguard University coming back in for the first time in a couple of games after having to be out with back spasms that he's been dealing with. He said he was feeling better and was ramping up progress up until today. He gets the opportunity to DH here and lead off. He already has a single to start off the game and then grounded out to the pitcher, unfortunately, with the bases loaded and 2 outs. He now comes up with 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the 5th. The first pitch to him. Down low in the zone, 1-0 the count. Nakasuka, been a great leadoff man. Had the first home run in the Expedition League this year in what was game 2 against the Pierre Trappers in Pierre. The next pitch, he laces this one over the right field side. This ball's deep out there to right field. The wind's going to carry it, though. It's going to keep going. It's going to bounce all the way to the wall into the corner. Nakasuka's going to look to see if he can make it into second. Looks towards third, does not advance. That was a home run any other day here in Sioux Falls. Unfortunately, the wind is able to kill it, but that ball went all the way to the wall, bounced off the bottom of the wall there at the 30-59 spot. Had that ball not been caught in the wind, that ball would have probably went 370 feet. It would have probably been a home run. Unfortunately for Nakasuka, it stays in the yard though, so he'll get a double though. As now we'll have a conversation here with the manager with Reed Butts. With 1 out here in the top of the 5th. 4-0 your score as Nakasuka lit that one up into the right center field gap. The right fielder, Jesus Rojas, thinking the ball was going to die out there because the wind is blowing in from right center field towards third base. It continued to fly, though, and he continued to just carry, even though the wind was blowing against it. I'm pretty sure Nakasuka would have had a home run at any other day of the week had the wind not been blowing so hard. That thing just continued to float when at least 359 feet, 360 feet, as now Caleb Herbert comes up to the plate with 1 away. Herbert already 0 for 2 tonight. He'll look to see if he can go ahead and change his fortunes here. He lined out both times, once to the second baseman and one to center field. One out, runner on second. The first pitch he sees will be a ball outside. 1-0 the count. Nakasuka has great speed over there at second base. Easily one of the faster players on this Ragin Roosters crew. The next pitch. Down in the dirt, Lavorsi holds it there, disagrees with the call, so 2-0 now the count to the Mesa Community College product. 22 years old, a rising sophomore at Mesa Community College. The next pitch. Down in the dirt, now 3-0 the count to Herbert. Herbert again, 22 years old as a rising sophomore, took off 2 years before entering college for a mission trip. And now he's here after his freshman year spent at Mesa. The next pitch. Strike on the outside corner as he takes the next one, so 3-1 now the count to tonight's shortstop hitting in the 2 spot. It's been the main spot that he's hit all season long, has not done anything but pitch and played at shortstop. The 3-1 to Herbert. Strike on the outside corner. He thought he had ball 4, so now full count for Caleb Herbert. He doesn't agree with that one. Full count, 1 out, runner on second. 4-0 your score here in the top of the 4th between the Ragin Roosters and the Sabre Dogs. The next pitch from Reed Butts. Hit over to the right-hand side. Jake Barlow's going to have to hurry if he wants to make the play. He makes the throw over to first in time, so a ground out for Caleb Herbert on an inside pitch. It does allow Nakasuka to advance, though, so now a runner on third with 2 outs for Peyton McGregor. He's already 0 for 2 tonight, though. McGregor, tonight's right fielder, was in right yesterday as well. He's now hitting a little under 200 on the season after going down 0-2 tonight. Popped out to the first baseman his first time up and flew out to center the next. So now with 2 outs and a runner on third and Nakasuka. Peyton Herbert out of Oakland U takes the first pitch that he sees, and it's a strike over the heart of the plate, 0-1. McGregor just looking for a hit here, some way to score his teammate Nakasuka. In this 4-0 ball game at the top of the 5th. The next pitch from Butts, fouled up and out of play, 0-2 now the count for the Oakland U product. Only had 9 plate appearances last year at Oakland, transferring there from, I believe it was Southern Nevada, a junior college. As now he heads to Oakland U. He only had 9 plate appearances. Came to the Expedition League to try and get some more reps. He's definitely got that here. As the 0-2 to Peyton McGregor. Way inside, almost catches McGregor. So 1-2 now the count. McGregor, the first time he came up to hit for the Ragin Roosters, he hit an absolute shot over the left field wall for a 2-run homer against the Red River Pilots in Grand Forks. Unfortunately, that was the game that the Ragin Roosters lost 14-3. The next pitch he sees, he fouls off. So 1-2 still the count. Nakasuka 90 feet away at third base. He got on with a double out to the right center field gap. That would have been a home run any other time of the day had it not been windy. It's currently 25-mile-an-hour winds out here in Sioux Falls. The next pitch to McGregor. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. McGregor's not happy about that one. He's going to look back and have a chat with the home plate umpire. But he'll go down on strikes and will now go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-0 your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the North Iowa Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, here at Sioux Falls Stadium, home of the Sioux Falls Canaries. Alex Crouch will look to lead us off here after he didn't get to finish his at-bat after an attempted stolen base. I believe it was Dacen Cruz, or excuse me, no, it was Jesus Rojas allowed Dacen Cruz to score to put up the 4th run of the ball game. He tried to steal second and allowed his teammate to score before getting out, as the first pitch is a swing and a miss from Alex Crouch, to allow him to score. With 2 outs, he was able to get into a rundown. The runner was able to score before he was out, allowing the run to score. As the next pitch Crouch sees, he lines over to Caden Miller at second, and that'll be out number 1 on the soft line drive to the second baseman. Crouch now goes down 0-2 today. Luis Palaio will now come up. He's 1 for 2, led off the ball game in the bottom of the first with a single. Look to see if he can do something similar here. One out after Alex Crouch lined out to the second baseman, Caden Miller, who usually plays shortstop for Caleb Herbert on his nights off. The next pitch. Breaking ball down in the zone. 1-0 the count for Morphew. So he continues to work here. 68 pitches through 4 1/3 inning of work. Palaio 1 for 2. He had a single and then lined out to second base the last time as this ball gets shot out into the left center field gap. Nick Eastom's not able to make the play as that ball's going to roll all the way to the wall. Luis Palaio is going to have to run for a while. The throw in from Carson Gross will make it into the second baseman. He's going to get held up at third. So a triple for Luis Palaio as a diving attempt for Nick Eastom. Unfortunately, he was not able to make the play. He made the diving attempt, wasn't able to get there. So now Hunter Delanoy comes up with 1 away and a runner on third. Palaio now with a single and a triple tonight. Nick Eastom went full extension. The quick center fielder had to try and catch the hooking fly ball as the wind continues to blow from right to left. Unfortunately, he's not able to make the catch. So now with 1 away, Hunter Delanoy comes up. He's 0 for 2 tonight. The infield is in once again for the Ragin Roosters. The first pitch from Morphew, laced over to the right-hand side. Will it land fair? It hooks over towards foul territory and he's going to land foul. So with 1 out, runner at third. Delanoy flew out to center and grounded out to the second baseman, Miller, already tonight. He'll look to see if he can change his fortunes here. He's hitting .500 entering this contest. Now a little underneath that after the 0 for 2 here. Still has a 1,300 OPS, excuse me. Now he has a runner 90 feet away. He'll look to see if he can score him. The next pitch to Delanoy. Outside on the breaking ball. 1-1 now the count. 4-0 your score here in the bottom of the 5th. The Sabre Dogs lead the Ragin Roosters after scoring 4 in the bottom of the 4th inning, starting off with a single from Dacen Cruz that Sage McMinn was not able to handle. As the next one, McMinn's not able to handle it again. Another single on a hard ground ball by Hunter Delanoy. It'll score Palaio. Because unfortunately for McMinn, it just bounced right off the bottom of his glove as he tried to make the turning catch. So now Seth Delgado comes up. He's 1 for 2 with a single tonight. He had the first run of the ball game, as Dacen Cruz was able to score him. So now 5-0. Noah Morphew continues to work here with 1 out and a runner on first. As we sit in the bottom of the 5th inning, the next pitch, straight up in the air towards foul territory. Sage McMinn inside Probst are going to look to try and make the play. Probst is going to drop it. The play is going to be in foul ball. The ball landed in fair territory, but the umpire is going to declare that it is foul. Dakota Greer is going to come out and argue. That ball looked like it was fair. Cy Probst, it looks like, had made the play in fair territory. The ball curved due to the wind. He wasn't able to make the catch. The home plate umpire calls it foul. Oh my goodness, and Dakota Greer's not happy about it, as that would have been an easy out at second. Now it gives Delgado a second life. I'm not sure entirely if that was the correct call. I will not be lying to you. That ball looked like it landed in fair territory after Cy Probst caught it along the line. The home plate umpire is the discretionist, though, in that situation. So 0-1 the count for Seth Delgado. The throw over to first from Morphew. Delanoy gets in safely. So 1 out, 5-0 your score here in the bottom of the 5th inning between the Sabre Dogs and the Ragin Roosters. Delgado, who's already 1 for 2 tonight, comes up. The 0-1. Out and away, 1-1 now the count. After a foul ball that Cy Probst tried to make the catch on and along the line at first base, landed in fair territory as he dropped it, and the home plate umpire called it foul. Dakota Greer came out to argue and then walked promptly back to the dugout and still probably not happy about it. The next pitch, he hits it over to the third base line. Gross picks it up. The throw is only over to first as Delanoy was already on the move. So a ground out for Seth Delgado. That puts 2 outs, and Hunter Delanoy now on second. Now Chris Monroe, already 1 for 2 with a double tonight and a run to his name, comes up to the plate. 5-0 here, your score in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Central Michigan product now up. Ever so dangerous first baseman. 34 RBIs, 8 homers. He leads the league in both categories. I believe as well in OPS. He now has a runner on second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Morphew sets the pitch. Curveball inside, doesn't get the call, so 1-0 the count. And we're going to have a warning here from the home plate umpires. Dakota Greer was letting him know about it. He's not liked the zone and the last call there from the home plate umpire. Greer just trying to stick up for his players right now. 1-0 the count to Chris Monroe. 5-0 your score here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 97 degrees out here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Tempers are not going to be cold out here, let me tell you. The next pitch is out and away. 2-0 now the count for Morphew. 78 pitches through 4 2/3 of an inning of work. They're going to see if he can go as deep as possible into this ball game, as the pitching staff is kind of light here for the Ragin' Roosters currently. Morphew checks the runner at second. The pitch. Outside again. 3-0 now the count to Monroe. Monroe, we'll see if he gets the green light or not here. He can punish a pitcher if he gets a hold of one. Wind continuing to blow from right to left here. If he pulls one, it'll definitely make it over the fence out there in left field unless he pulls it a little too hard. 2 outs, a runner on second. 5-0 your score here between the Sabre Dogs and the Ragin' Roosters. The next pitch, he does get the green light. He's going to lace it to straightaway center field. Nick Eastham will be right underneath it, though. So a fly ball to straightaway center will end the inning. As we'll now go to the top of the 6th. The North Iowa Ragin' Roosters down 5-0 to the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin' Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone, welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota here as we enter the top of the 6th inning. 5-0 your score here between the North Iowa Ragin' Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. Sage McMahon 0 for 2 tonight will lead us off here. Nobody out, nobody on as he'll look to lead us off in the top of the 6th inning here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The next pitch is outside, 1-0 the count here to McMahon. Let's get McMahon already 0 for 2 tonight. The next pitch he sees from Reed Butts. He'll be up in the zone, so now 2-0 to the 6'5" transfer to Missouri Baptist. He popped out to short in a line drive out to left field in his 2 appearances. Next pitch. Way inside of McMahon, so now 3-0 the count. We'll see if he gets the green light here as he'll lead us off in the top of the 6th. First base tonight, unfortunately, has not been able to handle some of the hot ground balls towards him. The next pitch, up in the zone. Ball 4 to McMinn on a 4-pitch walk from Reed Butts, who is now at 83 pitches through 5 innings of work. So he lets a runner on, and now Cy Probst, 1 for 2 tonight, comes up to the plate. Tonight's battery from Maine University. Led off the top of the second with a single that bounced off the glove of Dason Cruz. He then struck out swinging the last time he came up to the plate. Now he comes up with a runner on first and nobody out. The left-hander sets the delivery. Inside, it gets away from Liverosi, and that'll allow Sage McMinn to make it onto second base. The ball was way in, so it gets away from Liverosi, who wasn't able to block it, so a passed ball allows Sage McMinn to advance to second. So the double play is now out of the question. And Probst now has an RBI opportunity. McMinn doesn't have exceptional speed, but can move it with those long legs if he needs to. The 1-0. Down and in again. Now 2-0 the count to Cy Probst. 5-0 your score here in the top of the 6th inning. The Sabre Dogs scoring 4 in the bottom of the 4th and 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Starting off with a Dason Cruz RBI single to score Delgado. The next pitch outside, ball 3. 7 straight balls here for Reed Butts. He's losing his control a little bit here, and the heat might be the main issue. 98 degrees out here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The next pitch. Strike over the heart of the plate. Now 3-1 the count. He gets the first strike of the inning. It's the left-hander with a .75 ERA. He's 2-0 on the season on 12 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts. The next pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Cy Probst thought he had ball 4, and I think he did as well. That's the second time tonight that a Ragin Rooster batter has got called on a strike on the outside part of the zone that they thought was ball 4. Full count now, nobody out. Runner on second. The pitch from Reed Butts. McMinn is on the move. Ball outside. McMinn makes it into third safely. So a walk for Cy Probst, and it allows McMinn to steal. So now runners at the corners with nobody out. As now Liverosi will go out to talk to his pitcher. Carson Gross, who's 1 for 2 tonight, comes up to the plate. Gross grounded out to second the first time he came up to help Probst advance to second after that leadoff single in the top of the second, and then promptly put himself on base after Probst struck out with a line drive single to left. He now comes up, the University of North Colorado product. Tonight's left fielder has played in right and third base as well. He'll look to see what he can do here now with runners at the corners and nobody out. The first pitch from Reed Butts up in the zone. Probst is going to try and get picked off at first. He'll make it in safely. Probst got a big lead over there at first, and the attempted pickoff from Liverosi, who saw that, is not in time though. Now the Pure Trappers have arrived here at Sioux Falls alongside the Red River Pilots. They'll sit side by side here in the stands. The next pitch. Strike on the bottom half of the zone. Now 1-1 the count to Carson Gross. 1-2 tonight for the left fielder, hitting in the 6th spot. Sage McMinn 90 feet away. Cy Probst at first after the walk. McMinn being able to make it second on a pass ball after the walk and then stealing third base. The next pitch. Down in the zone. Probst is going to get stuck between second and first. He's going to make it into second safely. Sage McMinn tries to get back into third. He'll make it in safely as well. So a stolen base for Probst. And then McMinn was almost picked off at third as he tried to advance. So now 2-1 the count. And runners on second and third. So the double play now out of the question. Runners 90 and 180 feet away. 2-1 the count here for Carson Gross. 5-0 your score in the top of the 7th. The next pitch from Reed Butts. Up in the zone. Now 3-1 the count. If you're Butts, you don't want to load the bases with nobody out here. Even though he does have a 5-run lead, he's still looking to see if he can get out number 1. 3-1 the count. Nobody out. Runners at second and third. The pitch. Gross is going to line it down the left field line. It's going to land foul, though. Got around a little too early on the inside fastball. Full count now for the University of Northern Colorado product. Teammates of Craig Kenny. He's going to get the night off tonight after, I believe, starting catcher last night against the Red River Pilots. He was. I apologize. Full count. Nobody out. Runners at second and third. The pitch from Reed Butts. Fouled up and out of play. He's staying alive here is Carson Gross. Tonight's left fielder hitting in the 6th spot. He's got experience at third and right as well as getting started in left field tonight. The 3-2. Breaking ball way outside. Excuse me. That was a ball in the outside corner. I thought it was 3-2 the count. I guess it was not. I apologize. So now it's 3-2. It's now full count. I apologize for that. My book was a little off there. I apologize. 3-2 once again to Carson Gross. Hit up and towards the right field side. Chris Monroe in foul territory. He'll try and make the catch. The wind blowing it. He's going to make it. Carson Gross spikes his bat. So out number 1 on the fly out in foul territory. He's not happy with himself, and understandably so. That's a at-bat that you need to get back there. Now Griffin Snyder, who's 0 for 2, comes up to the plate. Snyder again 0 for 2, struck out his first time up on a check swing he didn't agree with. Ragin Roosters have had a hard time tonight with tonight's home plate umpire, unfortunately for them. The first pitch he'll see, he's going to hit over to the third base side. It's going to land in foul territory, so 0-1. McMinn at third, Cy Probst at second. Both of them making it on after walks. McMinn able to get the second on a pass ball and then stealing third on the walk to Cy Probst. Probst stealing second after they tried to check the runner at third. 1 out, runner at second and third. The 0-1 here for Griffin Snyder. The left-hander Reed Butt sets the delivery of the pitch. Snyder shoots it over the right-hand side. It's going to land out of play. Foul ball again. It's the St. Mary's product is just looking to see if he can keep himself alive here and to see if he can score one of his teammates or at least get himself on base. After Carson Gross pops up into foul territory to Chris Monroe, the first baseman. As Reed Butts tries to get himself out of this situation. 98 pitches now through 5 1/3 inning of work. This might be his last inning here. We shall see. Butts sets the left-hander to the 0-2. Check swing. It broke his bat, and it's going to be a foul tip out. I saw a chunk of his bat, it looked like. No, it wasn't. I thought it was a piece of his bat that broke off. I don't know what broke off there, but something did. So it's going to be out number 2 on the check swing again for Griffin Snyder. He goes now down to 0-3 on the night. And now Caden Miller, who's 0 for 1, comes up to the plate. He had a walk in his first appearance. He now comes up with 2 outs and runners at second and third. Trying not to waste this opportunity here. He grounded out to third last time up. The first pitch he sees. Strike over the heart of the plate, 0-1. Butts now up to 100 pitches. Most likely his last inning of work here, unless they feel like trying to push him another. The Centralia Community College product, 0 for 1 tonight. The walk to his name, the next pitch. Hits it over to the third base side. Crouch is going to be able to pick it up. The throw over to first in time. The dig out by Chris Monroe, and the Sabre Dogs are able to get out of runners at second and third with nobody out. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. 5-0 your score here. The Sabre Dogs lead the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, here at Sioux Falls Stadium, home of the Sioux Falls Canaries of the Independent League Professional Baseball Team. Jason Cruz will come up to the plate here to lead us off in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-0 your score here between the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs and the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. Cruz already has the first run of the ball game to his name. He was able to score Seth Delgado from third base on a single. The first pitch he sees is a strike on the outside part of the zone, 0-1. Noah Morphew continues to work here. 5 innings, 80 pitches. He'll look to see if he can go as deep as possible into this ball game. The next pitch, another breaking ball, this one outside, so 1-1 the count. Morphew from Waldorf University, from Algona, Iowa, 25 minutes away from Bancroft. The next pitch down in the dirt, so 2-1 now the count. Morphew continues to work. Sabre Dogs now lead 5-0, scoring 4 in the bottom of the 4th, 1 in the bottom of the 5th, and they have yet to score here, obviously, in the 6th, as Jason Cruz will lead us off. After the Ragin Roosters leave the runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. The next pitch down and away, 3-1 now the count for the Algona native. The left-hander continues to work here, tonight's starter. Had a very good start before the 4th inning hit. The next pitch, inside, it hits Cruz, so that'll allow Cruz to make it on base. And I'll bring up Jake Harlow, as Cruz is hit by the pitch to start off the inning. Barlow 0 for 2 tonight. He'll look to see what he can do here. Tonight's second baseman comes up now with a runner on first and nobody out. Morphew continuing to work here. Barlow flew out to left the first time he came up and struck out swinging on a high curveball the last time. Morphew sets, checks the runner at first, the pitch. Strike on the outside corner on the fastball. 0-1 the count to Barlow. The wind continues to blow here. I believe you can hear it on the broadcast right now. It's blowing in from right to left, and it's been extremely aggressive here. The next pitch from Morphew up in the zone. So now 1-1 the count to the Sabre Dogs second baseman. 5-0 your score here in the bottom of the 6th. The Sabre Dogs lead the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. The Roosters leave runners on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out and are not able to bring around any of them. The next pitch, laced out towards left field. This ball is hit deep. If the curveball gets a hold of it by Jake Barlow, goes all the way to the wall. It's gone. Jake Barlow hits it out over the left field side on the hanging curveball from Noah Morphew. His 4th home run of the season, the first one here in Sioux Falls by any Expedition League batter. The wind is blowing from right to left, and it helped him here. He's able to shoot it over the left field wall. 7-0 now your score. As Jake Barlow hits a 2-run shot over the left field wall on a hanging curveball by Morphew. 7-0 your score here in the bottom of the 6th. Now Ben Lavorsi comes up to the plate. Lavorsi 0 for 1 tonight with a walk to his name. That's a big home run for the Sabre Dogs. It gives them more insurance over here over these Ragin Roosters. The next pitch from Morphew inside, ball 1. Lavorsi already flew out to center field in shallow and walked in his last time up on the bases loaded. With runners on 2nd and 3rd, and then got himself loaded. Jake Barlow now makes this a 7-0 ball game on a 2-run shot over the left field wall on a hanging breaking ball. The next ball outside to Lavorsi, so 2-0 now the count. With nobody out and nobody on after Barlow scores a 2-run homer over to the left field side. The next pitch, down and in, so 3-0 now the count to Lavorsi as Morphew struggles here as he sits in the 5th inning. 7-0 now your score. 8 hits now for the Sabre Dogs. 7 runs to their names. The next pitch, strike on the inside part of the zone, now 3-1 the count. 5:40 here in Sioux Falls. 7:05 the set time for the Red River Pilots and Pure Trappers game. We'll see if it comes up to that time here. 7-0 your score. The next pitch, strike on the outside corner, now full count for Ben Lavorsi. Goes from a 3-0 to a 3-2 as Morphew works his way back into the count. Nobody out for tonight's battery. He'll come up with nobody on. The next pitch, inside, ball 4. There was a hesitation there, and Lavorsi gets on. He thought it might have been a strike, so that puts him on now, and Jesus Rojas already 1 for 2 tonight, comes up. Rojas, tonight's right fielder, unfortunately gave up the first hit of the ball game as he lost sight of a pitch over the heart of the plate to Nakasuka that he lined out to right field. As now Dakota Greer will come out to talk to his pitcher, Noah Morphew, for a minute. I don't think he's going to pull him just yet. I don't see anybody down there in the bullpen right now for Morphew. He's going to keep working here. It's the Waldorf University product. We'll look to see what he can do. Wind continues to blow out here in Sioux Falls. 99 degrees out here. Wind blowing from right to left at about 25 miles per hour. It helped Jake Barlow there. It put him out of the yard, but it also cut down on a Nakasuka deep fly ball that hit off the 359 sign out there in right center field. So now Rojas comes up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Tonight's right fielder has a single and struck out the first time he came up, though. The first pitch from Morphew, up in the zone, strike 1. Runner on first, nobody out. A 2-run shot by Jake Barlow makes this a 7-0 ball game. Lavorsi gets on with a walk. Jesus Rojas will look to see if he can continue the inning here. Morphew at now 95 pitches. Checks the runner at first. The left-hander sets the pitch. Laced out towards left center field. That ball's going to get down. It's most likely going to bounce all the way to the wall. Never mind, McGregor will be able to cut it off, but Lavorsi's now going to get held up at third. Nobody's there at second base, so Rojas will come up with a double. A line drive double to left center field. Now we have runners on second and third with nobody out, and it looking like the Sabre Dogs offense is finally waking up here. Now 9 hits for them, as now Alex Crouch, who's already 0 for 2 tonight, comes up to the plate. Unfortunately for Crouch, he's been extremely cold at the plate. Now batting 192 on the season. That number continues to dip as he's 0 for 2 tonight. Was 0 for 7 or 0 for 9 in Bancroft. The next pitch, down in the dirt, ball 1. Crouch, I believe in his last 14 at-bats that I've seen him hit, has only received a walk, has not gotten on base any other times other than that. Had 6 strikeouts during his time in Bancroft. 1-0 the count to him. Runners at second and third, nobody out. The infield in for the Ragin Roosters. Strike on the outside part of the zone, 1-1 now the count to tonight's third baseman. 7-0 now your score. The Sabre Dogs lead the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. Jake Barlow adds 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. After 4 were scored in the bottom of the 1st, 1 scored in the bottom of the 5th, and now a 2-run shot off the bat of Barlow. That one stays down low. 2-1 now the count for Alex Crouch. Morphew now at 99 pitches. Not sure how much longer he can go in this ball game. We shall see. I believe River Terry's headed up to the bullpen right now. He is. The Waldorf product continues to set the pitch. To line out to Nick Eastham in center field. He'll make the catch. He'll be able to score a run, though, as Lavorsi scores sliding. So now 8-1 on the line drive sacrifice fly. As he hit it just deep enough to allow Lavorsi to score. Rojas does not advance. So 8-0 now here in the bottom of the 6th. We get an out. Now Luis Palaio comes up. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Palaio again 2 for 3 tonight. Led off the bottom of the 1st as the leadoff man with a single. Did the same thing as Dane Nakasuka. And he's 2 for 3 tonight now with a runner on second, 1 away. 8-0 your score here. Noah Morphew continues to work. The first pitch he sees lined right back up the middle. It's going to be a single. And they're going to try and send around Rojas. Nick Eastham's going to pick it up and not make the throw in. So now it's a 9-0 ball game on the ground ball single for Palaio. He's 3 for 4 tonight. 9-0 as we sit in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Sabre Dogs offense continuing to score run after run. Now 4 here in the bottom of the 6th. Now Hunter Illinois, 1 for 3 tonight, comes up to the plate. He singled to first earlier in this game on a hard ground ball that made it under the glove of Sage McMinn. He was able to score Luis Palaio earlier, I believe, on the triple that he had. Now 1 out, runner at first. The next pitch from Morphew, down and away, strike 1. As Delanoy, yeah, he looks as confused as I was there for a minute. That pitch was down and away, I thought, but it was a called strike, and Delanoy just looks back to the home plate umpire like, really? Are you sure? Okay, if you insist. So 0-1 the count with a runner on first, one away. 9-0 your score. The Sabre Dogs lead the Ragin Roosters. The curveball, inside ball. So 1-1 now the count. 10 hits now for the Sabre Dogs. 9-0 your score. Barlow hits a 2-run shot to get them started. Morphew sets the 1-1. This one gets laced out towards right field. The right fielder McGregor is going to try and get underneath it. He will. That'll be out number 2 as Paleo was really far off the first base bag, but doesn't get there. So line out to Peyton McGregor in right field. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 6th. 9-0 your score here between the Sabre Dogs and the Ragin Roosters. Morphew will not make it much longer at 104 pitchers now as Seth Delgado comes up to the plate. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Out of Oklahoma Westland, tonight's left fielder. Got the start in left yesterday in the catching spot in game 1. The next pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 from Morphew on an outside fastball. As Morphew continues to work. 105 pitches now through 5 2/3 of an inning of work. Unfortunately, now has given up 9 runs on 10 hits. 9-0 your score. The Sabre Dogs lead the Ragin Roosters in the bottom of the 6th. Next pitch outside, ball 1. If the Sabre Dogs are able to score 1 more here in the bottom of the 6th, they would put them up by 10. The 10-run rule would be active entering the top of the 7th, which the 10-run rule is a thing here in the Expedition League. If a team scores 10 runs and is ahead by 10 runs, I should say, so that one hits Delgado in on the legs, as it didn't look like it got him at first, but it does. So now runners at second and first, with 2 away now. Chris Monroe, the ever so dangerous first baseman from Central Michigan, comes up. He's 1 for 3 tonight with a double. Dakota Greer is going to go down to his bullpen, it looks like, for a moment, and I do believe River Terry is down there. He is. So now Chris Monroe comes up to the plate. Central Michigan, the first pitch he sees, he's going to foul up and out of play towards the first base side. McMinn walks over there but doesn't have a play on it. So 0-1 the count to the 6'6" first baseman. If you were to look at Monroe, you'd think he's a grown man, and he really is, let me tell you. Once again, the Central Michigan product, the league leader in home runs and RBIs right now. 8 home runs to his name. Continues to boost the extra base hits. The next pitch he sees outside. Cy Probst tries to frame it, can't get it. 1-1 now the count. 2 outs, runners on second and first. The 10-run rule is an active thing in the Expedition League. If the Sabre Dogs can score 1 more here in the bottom of the 6th, the Ragin Roosters will have an opportunity at the top of the 7th, but they need to score to keep the game alive. We'll see if that happens, though. The next pitch to Monroe. Hits up to the left center field side. Caleb Herbert trying to find it. He's not sure where it's at. He's going to make the catch, though, over in short left center field. Great play there by Herbert, who lost it for a minute up in the sun. It was a mile-high fly ball, but he'll make the catch. So we'll keep it at 9-0 as one at the top of the 7th. The Sabre Dogs lead the North Iowa Ragin Roosters 9-0. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota here as we enter the top of the 7th inning. Daniel Tomkowitz will enter the ball game here for the Sabre Dogs. 2-12 on the season, 2-1. As the last time he made an appearance was against the Ragin Roosters, came away victorious. Now he comes in facing off against Nick Eastham, who's 1-2 tonight. Out of Midway University, the team leader in stolen bases. First pitch from Tomkowitz. Down in the zone, 1-0. He comes in relief of his teammate Reed Butts, who went 6 innings, gives up 5 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The next pitch. Down and away, 2-0 now the count to Nick Eastham. Eastham already 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a line drive single to right. Look to see what he can do here. With nobody out, nobody on as he leads off. 9-0 your score. The next pitch up in the zone, so now 2-1 the count. Excuse me, it's 3-1-0 in the count. I don't know where I got the strike from. It's 3-0 in the count. Eastham waits for the 3-0. Down and away, ball 4, and Tomkowitz walks the first batter that he faces. So puts a runner on, and a never so dangerous one, with nobody out. 9-0 your score here in the top of the 9th. The Sabre Dogs have an opportunity to 10-run roll in the bottom of the 7th if the Ragin Roosters can't score here. As through 7, if a team leads by 10 in the Expedition League, the game is over. As now Dane Nakasuka, 2 for 3 tonight, comes up to the plate. Tonight's DH, traditionally the center fielder, he's been dealing with back spasms, leading for Michael Pratt to get more plate appearances. He now comes into tonight's game as the DH. Nick Eastham getting the start in center, though, as Pratt gets the night off. The next pitch. Strike on the inside part of the zone. The first strike there from Tomkowitz. 0-1 now the count. Runner on first, nobody out. A 4-pitch walk to Nick Eastham is now Dane Nakasuka comes up. The next pitch, check swing, doesn't go around, so 1-1 now the count. The Vanguard product at the plate, the left-handed hitting center fielder. Great speed, great power, already has a double to his name, 360 to right. If the wind had not been blowing, it probably would have been out of the ballpark. The next pitch outside, 2-1 the count. The wind has been a big problem here at Sioux Falls. Will Hoke had 2 shots for the Pure Trappers yesterday that bounced off the bottom of the walls in right field that the wind was blowing against. Both of them would have most likely been home runs any other time, but unfortunately the wind has been blowing extremely hard from right to left here. As the next pitch, he hits over to the right field side again. This one over towards foul territory. Will anybody get there? No, it'll land in the stands. 2-2 the count for Dane Nakasuka with nobody out and Nick Eastham on first. Eastham has 6 stolen bases on the season. The team leader, one of the top stolen bases leaders in the league this year. I believe behind Jack Walton of the Red River Pilots, who has 7. Excuse me, that's Caleb Whitley. I apologize, I cannot get my names right. Caleb Whitley with 8 stolen bases, actually. I believe Nick Eastham is up there along beside him. The 2-2 to Dane Nakasuka. Strike 3 called on the outside part of the zone. He's not happy about it, and that'll be out number 1 for Nakasuka. That'll be out number 1 for Daniel Tomkowitz as he gets his first out after walking the first batter that he sees. Now Caleb Herbert comes up to the plate. 0 for 3 tonight for him, unfortunately. As he is lined out twice, once to center field and popped out the last time. Or excuse me, he grounded out the last time he came up to the plate. The Mesa Community College product with a runner on first. The first pitch he sees is a strike on the outside part of the zone. 0-1 the count. He grounded out to second base last time he came up to the plate. It allowed Nakasuka to advance to third. Unfortunately, they were not able to score him. The next pitch. Up in the zone, no call called, so ball, and that'll be a throw down to first. Eastham gets in safely. A pickoff attempt there by Lavorsi, not there in time, as Eastham's speed keeps him on base. 1-1 the count, 1 away. Tomkowitz coming in relief of Reed Butts, who went 6 innings of work, gave up no runs on 5 hits. The next one's down and away, 2-0 the count. Reed Butts went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Was able to leave the bases loaded and runners on second and third with nobody out, and was able to leave him stranded both times. What was another solid outing for him? The next pitch. Shot out towards left field. This ball's hit deep out to the left field side. This ball is gone. Caleb Herbert out of the ballpark. Way over that left field wall. He got all of that one. The Mesa Community College product goes deep, and that'll be a 9-2 ball game. Caleb Herbert, what a shot to left. That one was way out of there. Seth Delgado took a couple of steps and then just walked back. That ball got out of here in a hurry. What a shot off the bat of Caleb Herbert. It is now 9-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. Peyton McGregor will come up to the plate. What a shot from Caleb Herbert. He'll collect his first hit of the ball game, and that's a home run for him. He needed that one desperately. And the offense now finally shows up for the Ragin Roosters. As McGregor comes up now with one away. Tom Kowitz gives up a 2-run shot, and then this one's hit over to the third base side. Alex Crouch is going to pick it up and make the throw over to first. First pitch, first swing, second out of the ball game. Excuse me, second out of the inning, I should say. Now 2 away, and now Sage McMinn, 0 for 2 tonight, comes up to the plate. He walked the last time and was able to advance to third after a pass ball and a stolen base. Unfortunately, was not able to score. So he'll now come up against Daniel Tomkowitz. With 2 away now, 9-2 your score. The Ragin Roosters score 2 off the bat of Caleb Herbert on a home run. This one gets laced right back up the middle. Jason Cruz picks it up on a hop, throws over to first, and that'll be out number 3. And the first pitch thrown to Sage McMinn. So now we'll head to the bottom of the 7th. 9-2 your score. The Sabre Dogs still lead the North Iowa Ragin Roosters, but the Roosters are able to cut into a little bit. And we'll now have a new pitcher coming to the ball game. We'll have River Terry come onto the mound. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota as we enter the bottom of the 7th. 9-2 your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. What has been an offensive game for the Sabre Dogs. Caleb Herbert able to score a 2-run homer as now River Terry comes out on the mound. He'll face off against Jason Cruz to start. The first pitch he sees is going to be way out of the zone, so 1-0 the count. Now the Centralia Community College product comes in relief of Noah Morphew. Morphew goes 6 innings, gives up 6 innings, gives up 10 hits and 9 runs, and that one stays out. 2-0 now the count for River Terry. Morphew goes, gives up 10 hits, 9 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts over 6 innings of work. This one gets fouled up and out of play from Cruz, and now 2-1 the count. Quincy U product will look to see what he can do here to lead us off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 9-2 your score. The Sabre Dogs lead the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. 6 o'clock here in Sioux Falls. The next pitch shot up and out of play towards the left-hand side. 2-2 now the count. As Terry will look to see if he can go as far as he can as well. Comes in relief of Morphew. He's just going to see if he can probably finish up this game if I know Coach Dakota Greer. He doesn't have anybody else up in the bullpen right now, and the bullpen is kind of short. The next pitch. Breaking ball way on away, 3-2 now the count. As the Pure Trappers and the Red River Pilots continue to mill about here in Sioux Falls Stadium, they're getting ready for their game set for 7 o'clock tonight. Next pitch from River Terry. Fouled off once again by Cruz, so still 3-2 the count. It's the Quincy U product faces off against the Centralia Community College product. Terry, teammates of Travis Herbert, the starting pitcher, and Caden Miller, tonight's second baseman. Terry, more of a third baseman shortstop, converted to a pitcher here, as the pitching help has been in desperate need for the Ragin Roosters. Full count, nobody out. The pitch. Fouled off once again by Dason Cruz. He continues to stay alive. Already 7 pitches here for him. As the Sabre Dogs lead here in the bottom of the 7th. 9-2 your score here in Sioux Falls Stadium here in this 6-game series in Sioux Falls. Two doubleheaders for each team. The next pitch. Way up in the zone, ball 4. So that'll put Dason Cruz on base as he gets on for, I believe, the second time tonight with walks. Jake Barlow will come up next. Tonight's second baseman already has a 2-run homer to his name, now has 4 on the season. He made this a 9-0 ball game last time he came up. 1 for 3 tonight with that 2-run homer. He flew out to left and struck out swinging the first 2 times. He now has a runner on first with nobody out. He'll look to see what he can do against River Terry. The next pitch. Strike on the outside part of the zone, 0-1. Terry does have good velo to his pitches. Unfortunately, control has been his biggest issue. So look to see what he can do here. 0-1. Head over to the second base side. Caleb Herbert's going to pick it up cleanly for second. Drops it for a moment. The throw over to first, not in time. Caden Miller tried to hurry it. So that'll be a fielder's choice. As trying to gun the runner out at first, Barlow, but he'll make it on. So now Ben Lavorsi comes up with 1 out and a runner on first. Lavorsi 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to right center field the first time he came up and walked in his last 2 appearances. The Minnesota State product comes up to the plate. Tonight's battery has a runner on first after Barlow hits into a fielder's choice. 9-2 your score in the bottom of the 7th. The next pitch from River Terry. Down in the zone, 1-0 the count. Lavorsi got the start last night at catcher, something he doesn't really expect very often, as Seth Delgado and him share the backstop duties. Delgado starting in left field for back-to-back nights. As now it looks like the runner will be on the move. The throw down to second, not in time. Barlow almost overslides second base on the outside ball. Side Probst tries to make the throw down. Unfortunately, Barlow got a great jump. So now a runner on second after the stolen base. With 1 away, Lavorsi up to the plate, 0 for 1 tonight with 2 walks and a fly out to center. 9-2 your score here in the bottom of the ninth. Bottom of the 7th. The Sabre Dogs lead. Barlow's on the move again. This one's inside. The throw down to third. Away. Knocks Snyder off the bag. So another stolen base on back-to-back pitches for Barlow. He's just running across the diamond. So now 2 stolen bases and a 2-run homer for Barlow. He's having himself a heck of a game tonight. Though most of the Sabre Dogs are. It is 9-2. They have 10 hits on the night. 3-0 the count here to Ben Lavorsi. 1 away, runner on third. The next pitch. Strike called on the outside part of the zone. 3-1 now the count for the Centralia Community College product. Coming in relief of Noah Morphew after he goes 6 innings, gives up 10 hits, 9 runs, walks 2, and strikes out 2. Terry sets, the right-hander delivers. Inside, ball 4. Lavorsi now has 3 walks on the night. Runners now at the corners with 1 away. Jesus Rojas, who's 2 for 3, comes up. But we'll have a conversation real quick between River Terry and his manager, Dakota Guerrier. Doesn't want to give up 3 runs here. If they do, it's game over. The 10-run rule is in effect here in the Expedition League. If a team leads after 7 with 10 runs to their 10-run lead, the game will end. Unfortunately, the last 2 out of 3 times the Ragin Roosters have faced off against these Sabre Dogs, they have been 10-run ruled. 18-1 in game 1, 4-2 in game 2, and then 20-1 in game 3. I believe that's the last mound visit that Dakota Guerrier has right now. So now Jesus Rojas comes up to the plate. A late addition here for the Sabre Dogs squad, but has been very effective already. 12 at-bats, he's 2 for 3 tonight and now has 3 RBIs on the season after he scored 2 on a single. The next pitch to him, way inside and almost catches him. So 1-0 the count River Terry buzzes him. 1 out, runners at the corners. Lavorsi on first after the walk. Barlow on first. Or excuse me, on third, I apologize. He stole the last 2 bases to get there. The next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. As Rojas takes a big hack through it. 9-2 your score here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Sabre Dogs looking to see if they can make this a 10-run rule with runners at the corners and Jesus Rojas up at the plate. The next pitch from River Terry. Foul tipped off the check swing of Jesus Rojas. So now 1-2 the count after he's not able to pull his bat back and he fouls it off and out of play. 1 away, Lavorsi on first. Jake Barlow on third. He already has a 2-run shot for Barlow over there at third base and now 2 stolen bases. Jesus Rojas 2 for 3. He has the struck out swinging, but has a single and a double to his name. The next pitch, Lavorsi's on the move, up in the zone. The throw down to third. Snyder's not on the bag. So that allows Lavorsi to get up to second. As Probst made the throw down to third, but Griffin Snyder wasn't there. So 2-2 now the count with 1 away. Runners at second and third. The infield is in again. The next pitch from River Terry. Laced right back up the middle. Will anybody be there? Herbert's going to be there. So that'll be out number 2 on the inside pitch that gets just chopped off by Jesus Rojas. So now Alex Crouch comes up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He has 2 outs and runners at second and third as we sit in the bottom of the 7th. Crouch has been in a bit of a slump recently. He's not gotten a hit since entering the Bancroft series against the Ragin Roosters. At least none that I'm aware of. The next pitch. Down and away, 1-0. So River Terry continues to work here. 21 pitches through 2/3 of an inning. He's yet to give up a run, but has runners at second and third with 2 outs. Alex Crouch 0 for 2 tonight, up at the plate in the 9-hole. Tonight's third baseman. The 1-0. Down in the third again. So 2-0 now for Alex Crouch. Crouch flew out to left and actually has a sacrifice fly to his name and lined out to the second baseman before as well. He's yet to get on from a hit since entering the North Iowa Ragin Roosters home field. That's now outside strike. So 2-1 now the count. Centralia Community College product on the mound. He's looking to see if he can get himself a clean inning here. 23 pitches already. The next pitch. Inside, Crouch takes a big hack at it, hits it foul. So now 2-2 the count for Alex Crouch. So look to see if he can keep this inning alive. Get some 2-out lightning for the Sabre Dogs. River Terry trying to end it here. Look to see what he can do. 2-2 the count. Runners on second and third here in the bottom of the 7th. 9-2 the score. The next pitch. Laced down the line again. This one a little too early from Crouch. He lands it out of play, but it was deep down that right field line. Still 2-2 the count. 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Barlow on third. Lavorsi on second. 9-2 your score here in the bottom of the 7th. The Sabre Dogs lead the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. If they score 3, the game ends on a 10-run rule. The next pitch. Crouch fouls it off again. He continues to stay alive. Still 2-2 the count. As the Missouri Western product now batting under 200 on the season, but has a 328 on base. He's batting 192 currently. 2-2 the count. Runners on second and third, 2 away. The next pitch from River Terry. Shot out towards right center field. That ball's deep out there. How deep, I don't know. McGregor's trying to make the play. Easton will make the play in right center field. He'll make the catch. That ball was sent out there to right field. Again, if that wind doesn't blow, it's probably out of the ballpark. But instead, Easton's able to make the diving catch out in right center field. So now we'll head to the top of the 8th inning. 9-2 your score here between the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the North Iowa Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota as we enter here into the bottom of the 8th inning. 9-2 your score here. The Souris Valley Sabre Dogs lead the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. We'll have Cy Props look to lead us off here in the top of the 8th inning. He's already 1 for 2 tonight with a walk to his name and a single. He struck out swinging in his second plate appearance, but he'll look to see what he can do here. Batting .250 now on the season. Look to ante up that batting average after now being up 1 and 2. He's already gone 1 for 2 tonight. He'll look to see if he can continue to add to it. He's been stranded on the bases twice now tonight. He'll look to see if he can get back on again. The first pitch from Tomkowitz, down and away, 1-0 the count. Top of the 8th, 9-2 your score. The Sabre Dogs lead the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. The wind continues to blow harshly out here from right to left. Alex Crouch unfortunately had an opportunity for a home run, get cut short by it as Nick Easton made the play to get the final out. Down in the zone, 2-0 the count now to Cy Props, the Maine University product, tonight's battery. Gets his first start here in Sioux Falls, made a pitch hitting appearance last night. The next pitch, up in the zone to Props, so now 3-0 the count. It's Tomkowitz walked the first batter they saw in the last inning. He came in relief. We'll see what happens here. The 3-0. Probst will foul it up and over to the first base side. Lands foul. So 3-1 now the count. To the Maine University product. So I don't see anybody down there right now in the bullpen for the Ragin Roosters. They'll look to continue to give River Terry opportunities. The 3-1. Down in the dirt, Cy Props gets on for the second time tonight with a walk. It's now Carson Gross, who's 1 for 3 tonight, comes up to the plate. Has a single to his name. He unfortunately fouled out to the first baseman the last time he came up in Chris Monroe with runners at second and third. He was frustrated with himself, let me tell you, when that happened. So there's now activity over there in the bullpen for the Sabre Dogs. First pitch to Carson Gross, strike on the outside corner, 0-1. 9-2 your score. The Ragin Roosters able to respond in the top of the 7th with a 2-run homer that made it out of the ballpark here in Sioux Falls from Caleb Herbert. The next pitch from Carson Gross, lined over the head of Jake Barlow, and that allows the runner Probst to make it on. So a line drive single just over the head of Barlow allows to put runners on second and first with nobody away. Now Griffin Snyder, who's 0 for 3, comes up to the plate. He has 2 strikeouts, both of them on check swings that he wasn't very happy about, come up. He grounded out to first as well in his other appearance. Now he has runners on second and first, nobody out. So that ball stays out and away as Lavorsi's able to get in front of it. 1-0, the St. Mary's College product. Made a relief appearance in Game 1, started at third yesterday, and starts once again today. Fortunately now hitting 160 on the season. He's looking to change that here. The next pitch. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not, so 2-0 the count here to the St. Mary's product. Looks like Ben Newbert is headed down to the bullpen. I don't know if that's going to be the one that's actually throwing or not. We shall see. 2-0 here to Griffin Snyder. Way on away, it's going to get away. That's going to be a wild pitch for Tomkowitz and allow the runners to advance. That ball got way away from Lavorsi, and that one just got thrown away. So now runners at second and third, 3-0 the count, nobody out. 2-9 your score here in the top of the 8th. Griffin Snyder at the plate. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out to the first baseman. Look to see what he can do here and score his teammates on second and third with nobody out. The next pitch to him. Strike on the inside part of the zone. 3-1 now the count, as Griffin Snyder doesn't agree with that one either. The Pure Trappers appear to be wearing their gold jerseys tonight as they mill about here at Sioux Falls Stadium with the Red River Pilots. This one gets shot down the first base line. Fair ball, and that's going to be a single for Griffin Snyder. He's going to try for extra bases. That'll score 2. He's going to keep going, it looks like, as the ball is still over there in the corner. Finally gets in, so it's ground ball double that just skipped over the first base bag for Griffin Snyder. So now 9-4 the score. The Ragin Roosters are trying to mount a comeback. Nobody out still as Caden Miller comes up to the plate. The Centralia Community College comes up. Nobody out, a runner on second after a double off the bat of Griffin Snyder. The next pitch from Tomkowitz. Strike on the inside part of the zone, 0-1. Miller 0 for 2 tonight, has a walk to his name. Grounded out both sides to right, or both times to right, left side. The next pitch. Shot up and over to the right-hand side. As soon as I say that, Monroe's going to try and get underneath it. He will. That'll be out number 1. Monroe had to take a couple steps back and make the catch. So, 1 away now. The runner's still on second. Nick Eastham comes up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a walk to his name and a single. He struck out swinging in his second appearance, but had a single to right and a walk the last time he came up to the plate. He has a runner on second now with 1 away. 9-4 now your score between the Ragin' Roosters and the Sabre Dogs. The next pitch, way outside, 1-0. 6:20 here in Sioux Falls, 99 degrees, almost 100 out here as the wind continues to blow from right to left. The next pitch to Eastham, swing and a miss down in the zone, so 1-1 now in the count. The Red River Pilots start moving about. They're going to look to get themselves ready. It looks like they'll be wearing their navy blue jerseys. And unfortunately in this heat, I don't know if I want to be wearing any dark colors. The next pitch. Up in the zone, holds it there, and 2-1 the count. Lavorsi wanted that strike, he doesn't get it. 4-9 here in the top of the 8th. The Ragin' Roosters trying to come back, clawing slowly. The next pitch, fouled off by Eastham, so 2-2 now in the count. Tomkowitz has now given up 4 runs in 1 1/3 innings worth of work. Gave up a 2-run shot to Caleb Herbert that made it out of the stadium. I'd say a solid 350 to 360 feet out to left. And now gives up 2 runs on a double to Griffin Snyder. The 2-2 to Eastham. Up in the zone, full count, 1 away, Griffin Snyder on second after the 2-run double off his bat. 4-9 now your score here in the top of the 9th between the Ragin' Roosters and the Sabre Dogs. The full count from Tomkowitz. Checks the runners at second. The pitch. Laced out towards left field. Delgado's going to be right underneath it, though. So that's going to be a line out to Seth Delgado in left field. It was hit on an absolute bullet out there, but unfortunately was just right to the left fielder. So now 2 outs, and Dane Nakasuka comes up to the plate. 2 for 4 tonight. He'll come up for the first time. He did not appear at all this series, after being out with back spasm. He singled the first time and doubled all the way out to the corner and right. And now he comes up with 2 away and a runner on second. He'll look to see what he can do here. The left-handed hitting center fielder from Vanguard. The first pitch he sees is a strike. So 0-1 the count. Tonight's DH, after having back spasms that he's been working through, he's finally feeling well enough to get back into the lineup. 0-1 to him. Tomkowitz the pitch. Hit up and out of play, foul ball. So 0-2 now the count to the Vanguard product. He'll look to see what he can do here. 4-9 your score here between the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs and the North Iowa Ragin Roosters here in the top of the 8th. Ragin Roosters trying to make a comeback. 2 outs, the 0-2 to Nakasuka down in the dirt. So 1-2 now to the Vanguard product from California. Hit the first home run in the Expedition League this year in Game 2 against the Pure Trappers. Hit a solo shot out to right field. He almost had one here earlier. He hit it to the 359 sign in right center field. Unfortunately, the wind blew it back. The next pitch lines it right back out of the middle. Barlow picks it up. Tries to make the throw over to first in time. The dig out by Chris Monroe. What a play there by Jake Barlow. He's able to retrieve it and make the throw over to first in time. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-9 your score. The Ragin Roosters able to score 2 more, but they have to try and keep the Sabre Dogs from scoring here in the bottom of the 8th. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin' Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We got ourselves some lineup changes here for the Ragin Roosters. Caleb Herbert will get up onto the mound coming in from shortstop. Caden Miller will move from second to short. Carson Gross will move in from left to second for the first time here. And Michael Pratt will come into the ball game and hit over in the left field side. We'll see how that works out in the batting lineup here, but we'll see. So now Luis Palaio comes up to the plate. He's having himself a night tonight. He's 3 for 4. The first pitch he sees from Herbert's out and away, so 1-0 the count. Palaio get 3 for 4 tonight, hitting .397. Now well above that as the next pitch he sees is up in the zone, or excuse me, down in the zone, so 2-0 the count. For tonight's center fielder. Got the night off yesterday and it's worked wonders for him here now. He is 3 for 4. The next pitch. Just outside, 3-0 the count for the Mesa Community College product, now steps onto the mound. A single and a triple and a single for Palaio tonight. Couple RBIs to his name, I believe. The next pitch, strike over the heart of the plate. 3-1 now the count. As Palaio leads us off here. The next pitch, outside, ball 4. So a walk to Luis Palaio as Caleb Herbert. Somebody just got thrown out of the ball game. Who got thrown out? Somebody was chattering, and I don't know who got thrown out. Was it Dakota Greer? I'm not sure. Somebody just got tossed. Did he just throw out Caleb Herbert? Or was it Caden Miller at short? Caden Miller's got his arms up. I'm not sure what happened. Goodness gracious, I don't know what just happened. I think it's Caden Miller who just got thrown out. Oh my gosh, I don't know how. He was all the way out at shortstop. The home plate umpire throws him out of the ball game. He said he was chattering, it looks like, from his hand motions. So Miller gets thrown out. Aside Probst is going to try and get in between him, and Carson Gross will as well. Goodness gracious, I don't know what Cam Miller must have said. It had to have been something. I don't know what it was, but he's furious. Oh my goodness, so we'll need a new shortstop now as Miller gets thrown out of the ball game. Robert Castillo will now come in. He'll be in for the shortstop, Caden Miller, who just got thrown out on I don't even know what happened there. I'm sorry, I'm speechless right now. That was not something I expected to see here. Now Gross will move over to shortstop, and Robert Castillo will now move into second. Goodness gracious me, on a walk. Apparently, Miller said something. I'm not sure what Caden Miller could have said that the home plate umpire heard him all the way out from shortstop to throw him out of the ball game. That is something I did not expect to see here tonight, but here we are. Back-to-back nights now, players have been thrown out of the ball game. Yesterday, the Red River Pilots had a player that was not in uniform get thrown out for standing on the line before the game, having a standoff with Travis Herbert. Herbert walked away, and the player for the Red River Pilots got thrown out. As Hunter Delanoy fouls the first pitch he sees up and out of play. He's 1 for 4 tonight. A single already to his name. Goodness gracious, so Caden Miller gets thrown out of the ball game, apparently for lipping off to the home plate umpire all the way out from short. I don't know how he hurt him, especially over this wind, but 0-2 now as the next pitch is a strike from Caleb Herbert to Hunter Delanoy after, Herbert walked the first batter that he saw. So Caden Miller gets thrown out, Robert Castillo moves over to second, and Carson Gross goes from right to second to short in a matter of an inning. Left to second to short, as now this one gets fouled off by Delanoy, so still 0-2 the count with nobody out. I'm not sure what happened, but all I know is that Caden Miller is now out of the ball game. 0-2 the count here for Caleb Herbert. Hunter Delanoy at the plate. The next pitch. Hit up and over to the left field side. Michael Pratt, the newly pulled in left fielder, tries to chase it down. That ball lands foul. The home plate umpire calls it foul. It landed, it looked like right on that line over there in left field, and it lands foul according to the home plate umpire. 9-4 your score here in the bottom of the 8th. The North Iowa Ragin Roosters are down to the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Sabre Dogs have one more opportunity to hit here if they continue to hold this lead. The Ragin Roosters will have an opportunity at the top of the ninth. They'll need to score 5 to at least keep this game alive. Of course, saying that the Sabre Dogs don't find a way to score any here as the Wayne State U product gets back up to the plate. Next one is way outside from Caleb Herbert. So now 1-2 the count. What was quite the odd turn of events. Caden Miller gets thrown out from shortstop from the home plate umpire. The next one, Hunter Illinois laces over to the left field side. It's going to get in for a ground ball base hit. He's going to make it on after he's able to hit it right past Carson Gross, who was in double play depth. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get there. So nobody out. Runners at second and first. Seth Delgado to the plate. Delgado 1 for 3 tonight out of Oklahoma Westland. Tonight's left fielder has been a backstop mostly for these Sabre Dogs. He's had back-to-back starts now on left tonight. He has a single lined out to left. It was hit by a pitch in the last time he came up to the plate. Caleb Herbert sets the pitch. This one right back up the middle to Herbert. He's going to knock it down. Throw over to second. Somebody picked it up. Is it going to be an out at second? I'm not sure. So it is a double play. Is Robert Castillo, or was it Carson Gross? Carson Gross, excuse me, we're going to have a conversation. I don't know what happened there. So I believe Carson Gross picks it up. So a double play on the ground ball right back up the middle. A 1-6-3 as Carson Gross stole the ball from Robert Castillo, literally, and turns it. So in an odd turn of events there. I'm not entirely sure what just happened, but it happened nonetheless. So Chris Monroe now comes up with 2 outs. Runner on third. Leo advances, so the next one's outside from Caleb Herbert. So ball 1. Goodness gracious, this has been a heck of an inning here as Caden Miller gets thrown out of the ball game after a flurry of defensive changes for the Ragin Roosters. And then a double play that is argued by the coach of the Sabre Dogs as this one stays out and away. 2-0 now the count. After Carson Gross literally stole the ball from Robert Castillo on second and throws out the runner at first. 2-0 the count here for Chris Monroe, the Central Michigan first baseman. The next pitch, hit over to the shortstop side. Carson Gross will pick it up. The throw over to first in plenty of time. That'll be out number 3. So now we'll head to the top of the ninth. The Ragin Roosters have to score 5 to keep this ball game alive. If not, they will go 0-3 here in Sioux Falls. And the Sabre Dogs will collect their 20th victory of the season. We'll be right back after this quick break. We'll head to the top of the ninth. 9-4 your score here between the Sabre Dogs and the Ragin Roosters. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 9-4 your score. The North Iowa Ragin Roosters have one more opportunity to bring this game back. The Sabre Dogs lead them here in the top of the ninth. Caleb Herbert, who stepped onto the mound after being at shortstop all game, pitches a clean bottom of the 8th and is now coming up to hit. Of course, it did not come without the expense of Caden Miller, who got thrown out after a first batter walk to Luis Paleo was thrown out by the home plate umpire. As Tom Kowitz sets the first pitch to Herbert. He already has a home run. He'll lace this one over to left field, and that'll be a first pitch, first swing single for Caleb Herbert. He'll get himself on quickly. He's 2 for 5 tonight. Now Peyton McGregor will come up to the plate. McGregor 0 for 4. He's looking to see if he can change his results tonight. 0 for 4, flew out to foul territory, grounded out last time he came up and struck out looking. He also has a fly out to center. With nobody out and a runner on first, he comes up. Tomkowitz sets the pitch. Outside and away. It's going to get away from Lavorsi. So that's going to be a passed ball that gets away. Now Herbert advances to second. Double play out of the question now. Herbert has great speed. He can score from second on a ball that reaches into the gap. We'll see what McGregor can do here with nobody out. 1-0 the count. Runner on second. 9-4 your score. Tomkowitz continues to work here. There's a man in the bullpen right now. The next pitch. Down and away. 2-0 now the count. Someone is warming up down there. A right-hander for the Sabre Dogs. I can't see who it is just yet. 2-0 the count here for Peyton McGregor, the Oakland U product who's 0 for 4 tonight. He'll look to see if he can get himself on for the first time. The next pitch, line foul down the third base line. 2-1 now the count. We sit here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Now officially hits 100 degrees. 25-mile-an-hour winds blowing in from right to left. This is some gnarly weather out here in the Midwest, let me tell you. The Ragin Roosters are down by 5 to the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. 9-4 the score in the top of the ninth. The 2-1 to Peyton McGregor. Swung on, hit away to straightaway center field. Luis Palaio's going to get underneath it. Out number 1. Caleb Herbert makes an attempt to advance. Does not go, though, as the ball gets into third base. So a fly out to center field, Luis Palaio. That's out number 1. So now Sage McMinn, who's 0 for 3 tonight, comes up to the plate. He reached on a walk earlier, but has not been able to get an official hit just yet. Missouri Baptist product comes up. He grounded out to short the last time he came up. Popped out to short the first time he appeared and lined out to left the second time. Then took a walk to get himself up to third. The next one's up in the zone. Ball 1. As the 6'5" first baseman out of the state of Montana, headed to Missouri Baptist next year. Left-handed hitter waits. The 1-0 from Tomkowitz. Outside strike. 1-1 now the count. As Caleb Herbert's on second. He led off the inning with a single on the first pitch that he saw over to the left field side. Was able to make it to second on a passed ball before Peyton McGregor, 0 for 5, lines himself out to center. The 1-1. Tomkowitz makes the throw over to second. No throw, though. He just fakes it. Herbert continues to still get a lead. He has great speed. If McMinn can put one in the outfield, he can score. We'll see what he can do. Herbert takes a step. A big swing and a miss. Strike 2 now for McMinn. McMinn does have a homer on the season. Unfortunately, not many hits, though, as he's been trying his hardest to try and get himself back out of this stink that he's been in. And McGregor both have been a little bit down on the hitting average recently, unfortunately for them. 9-4 the score on the top of the ninth. The next pitch, down in the zone, called looking. McMinn can't believe it. The 6'5" first baseman goes down on a strike down at his knees. So 2 outs and a runner on second. Cy Probst now up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight with 2 walks and a single. Home plate umpires heard it a lot this tonight from the Ragin Roosters and ended up getting Caden Miller thrown out of the ball game from shortstop. Now Cy Probst, the main U product, comes up. Next pitch to him, strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Top of the ninth, 9-4. Tomkowitz trying to convert here, coming in relief of Reed Butts. Couldn't get the name right. 2 outs, the 0-1. Hit right back up the middle. Cy Probst is going to have himself a single. Caleb Herbert's going to get held up as Palaio spikes it and grounds it into the infield. So another single for Cy Probst. He hits it right back up the middle and puts himself on first. So now the runners at the corners for Carson Gross. He's 2 for 4 tonight with 2 outs. We'll see what Carson Gross can do. Batting .255 entering tonight's contest. Started out in left, moved to second, and is now at shortstop in a flurry of moves that have been all over the place. They have a single to left and right for him tonight. First pitch he sees up in the zone, 1-0. 0-1 is the late called. No, it was 1-0. I apologize. I thought I saw a call sign. There was not. 1-0 the count. 2 outs, runners at the corners. The next pitch from Carson Gross. The throw down to first. Down to the dirt, so 2-0. Cy Probst gets in safely on the attempted pickoff by Ben Lavorsi. Daniel Tomkowitz on the mound, comes in relief. He's now at 52 pitches through 2 2/3 of an inning of work. The next pitch, down and away. Carson Gross sits on it, 3-0. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. The Sabre Dogs trying to get the victory here, win number 20 on the season. The Ragin Roosters just trying to claw and to survive. The next pitch, down and away, ball 4. The bases are now loaded. Griffin Snyder comes up to the plate. So we'll have a conversation here. I believe we're going to have a pitching change. Tomkowitz, I believe, is going to be out of the ball game. He will be. We'll have a new pitcher on the mound. We'll be right back after this quick break with a new pitcher. Thank you for listening to the Ragin Roosters broadcast. We'll be back momentarily. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We have a new pitching change. Daniel Tomkowitz gets pulled after 2 2/3 of an inning of work. He leaves the bases loaded with 2 outs, and we have a new pitcher on the mound now. Tyler Elliott comes on. Has a 2.89 ERA, is 1-0 after he had a great outing against these same Ragin Roosters in Bancroft. In Game 2, he was given the victory. After coming in with a 2-0 deficit, they would come away winning 4-2. Coe College, he'll look to see what he can do here. Griffin Snyder will come out with the bases loaded and 2 outs. He'll look to see if he can continue to keep this game alive. He's 1 for 4 tonight with a double that scored 2 in the top of the, I believe the 7th. No, it was the 8th, excuse me, in the top of the 8th. He now comes up in the top of the 9th with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Caleb Herbert at third, Cy Probst at second, Carson Gross at first. Herbert's got great wheels. Cy Probst can move it if he needs to. Carson Gross also can run. So a good speedy infield right now for the Ragin Roosters, as now the Snyder out of St. Mary's College comes up. He's 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs tonight, has a double. Struck out twice though as well, as Tyler Elliott comes in to see what he can do. The next pitch, way up and in, and Tyler Elliott almost takes off Griffin Snyder's head on the first pitch that he throws, 1-0. The right-hander entered Bancroft with a 4 ERA and then pitched, I believe, 3 straight scoreless innings. He then received the win. He drops it down to 263 on the night. The next pitch, down in the zone but called strike. 1-1 the count now to Griffin Snyder. The bases are loaded. 2 outs, 9-4 your score here in the top of the 9th. The Ragin Roosters need to score 5 to keep this ball game alive. Tyler Elliott comes in for Tomkowitz. The 1-1. Swung on, hit over softly toward the first base line. Alex Crouch is going to try and make the bare hand throw. It won't be in time. That'll score a run, and it'll be an infield single. And now it is 9-5. The base is still loaded. Robert Castillo comes to the plate. Castillo comes in to play second after Caden Miller got thrown out of the ball game by the home plate umpire for what seemed like saying something. I don't know what. But now Robert Castillo comes up. He's only had 4 plate appearances, and this is his second game here. The next pitch he sees, he lines it to straightaway center field. Luis Peleo gets underneath it, and on the first pitch he sees, he lines out to center field to end the ball game. And that'll end it here. 9-5 the score. The Sabre Dogs stay undefeated. They receive win number 20. Reed Butts receives the victory, goes 6 innings, gives up 5 hits, 5 Ks, and 3 walks without giving up any runs. The loss goes to Noah Morphew. Unfortunately for him, he goes 6 innings, gives up 10 hits, 9 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And I'll end it here, 9-5 the score. The Ragin' Roosters fall for the 3rd time here in Sioux Falls. They are now on a 6-game losing streak. Swept by the Sabre Dogs in Bancroft and now swept here in Sioux Falls by all 3 of the other teams here in the Expedition League. They'll head off to Grand Forks this weekend. They'll have a game tomorrow in Grand Forks against the Red River Pilots, who play after this, scheduled for 7 o'clock, though I think game time will get delayed a little bit. This is currently 6:45. So the Sabre Dogs come away victorious. They are now, I believe, on a 14-game winning streak. 20-1 on the season now. 6-12 for the Ragin' Roosters. They now fall to 3rd. The Pure Trappers and the Red River Pilots will play next. If the Trappers win, they will jump up to 8-14, and the Red River Pilots will fall down to 6-12. The Red River Pilots now at 6-11. If they win, they will have sole control over 2nd place. So 9-5, the final here in the top of the 9th. The Ragin' Roosters fall. They were able to bring back a little bit of offense. A 2-run shot off the bat of Caleb Herbert in the top of the 7th. 2-run double by Griffin Snyder, and then a single by Griffin Snyder, where all 5 runs scored for the Ragin' Roosters. Unfortunately, the Sabre Dogs were able to find the offense first, scoring 4 in the bottom of the 4th, 1 in the bottom of the 5th, and another 4 in the bottom of the 6th. What was an unfortunate outcome again for the Ragin' Roosters, as they just weren't able to get the job done. Situational hitting continuing to kill them. Left the bases loaded, as well as left runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out, and did not get a single hit. We're not able to score any of those runs. It's been a big problem, unfortunately, for the Ragin' Roosters. So they'll now fall to 6-12. The Sabre Dogs now 20-1 on the season. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Tonight's score, 9-5 between the Sabre Dogs and the North Iowa Ragin' Roosters. Up next will be the Pure Trappers versus the Red River Pilots. That game is scheduled for 7, though it's going to probably get delayed a little bit, so we'll have a separate stream set up for this in a little bit. Thank you, everyone, again for listening to tonight's ball game between the North Iowa Ragin' Roosters and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. 9-5 the final. The Sabre Dogs win game number 20. Thank you, everyone, again for listening. My name is Mason Strawn, here from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Everyone have a good night.